Welcome back to the best division in football with your boys Awthentik and the Beard. You know what it is, man, the best TV show not on TV. Man, we got an exciting episode. Shout out to everybody who tuned into that impromptu live stream that we did on the firing of Jason Garrett. Today has definitely been an interesting day in Giants Nation. Y'all know what it is. Everybody stand up in the building one time. Man, I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. We got a lot to talk about today, man. I'm going to bring in the strong side to my left side right away. The Beard, how you looking over there, brother?
I'm looking very Notre Dame-ish right now.
I like it, man. You was telling me off air that y'all got a shot to make the college playoffs here.
It's a very slim chance, which is why I need to, don the gear to kind of, bring some hope into it. We're currently right in I think we were at 8th last time, but Oregon, who was in the top 4, lost. And then Michigan State, who was above us, got whooped by Ohio State. So the only two teams that are really possibly above us right now that can move into that is Cincinnati, who's undefeated, who is our only loss, and then Michigan, who has 1 loss. But Michigan still has to play Ohio State, so they could probably lose too. Who knows what happens with Cincinnati? So there's a lot of moving pieces here, but we got Stanford this weekend, so I'm super excited. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see what happens. If we don't, it's not like I'll be upset, you know what I'm saying, because we did lose to Cincinnati. But our only 1 loss is to the last undefeated team. So it's we don't have a really bad loss like some of these other 1-loss teams who have lost to opponents that are not undefeated. Cincinnati's the last undefeated team, I think. Am I tripping? No, Georgia. Georgia's undefeated also, but they're number 1. And their linebackers at Georgia. A lot of those guys are going to be playing in the NFL.
For sure, man. Hey, man, well, best of luck to Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. I'm definitely digging the shirt. I'm digging the vibes, man, reminding me of Rudy, man. Let's get right to it, man. We got a lot to talk about. Like I said, man, we had 4 games in the NFC East this past week, man. You had the Cowboys take on the Chiefs. You had the Saints take on the Eagles. Washington took care of them Panthers down in Carolina. And the Bucs slaughtered my New York Giants last night on primetime. Once again, the Giants can't win on primetime with quarterback Daniel Jones. So let's take it to the chat, man, and send a couple of shout-outs to the homies that's here bright and early in the building and get this show pushing, man.
Big shout-out to the homie Lucas, who was first in the building.
I think he was first in the building because I think Jameson might be in jail again. I think one of the mods might have put him in jail again. I'm not 100% sure. I got to go and check the administrative side of the YouTubes and see what Jameson is looking like, man, because I haven't seen him here in a couple of days. I think he might be on that block list for real. Keep him 100 with you.
Big shout out to Waterfly in the building. Always holding us down. We appreciate it, brother. Sunday, another day oneer holding us down in the chat. We appreciate it, Sunday. Hope all is
Sunday
well.
Doing so much for the Giants community. Yo, we definitely appreciate you in the building.
Big shout out to Word, who stopped by to say hello before going to work. We appreciate it for sure. And let's see who else we got here. Max Webster is in the building. What's going on, Max? I saw here that you finally closed on the house. I have personally seen pictures of the house, and it is a absolute amazing place. So super congratulations to you, Max. Super happy for you, buddy. And I know it's going to be a pain moving. Trust me. Awthentik and I moved once or twice in our lifetimes.
Oh, yeah, it's awful.
Moving the studio
I hate moving.
Was crazy.
Yeah, so, man, and we was only moving a couple blocks that one time, man. And it took us 3 days, it felt like, man. Every client that comes in here is like, bro, you got a lot of stuff in this studio, bro.
I was out of commission for 3 days after that move. I literally couldn't do anything. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was tough. Shout out to Max.
Who else we got in the building? Carl Wilkinson is in the building. What's going on, Carl? Great to see you, sir. Appreciate
Big shout
you
out to Carl one time in the building.
Edward Squires, my favorite GQ name, says, hey, fellas and all, it's a new day in Giants land. Let's see how this goes.
Let's see how it goes. New day, same results.
Big shout out to Cookie Monster. Says, let's rock. Appreciate you.
I saw Cookie Monster over there on KB stream, man. KB just had a real dope stream just now, man. I really enjoyed that. He stayed live for a long time. Listened to the Joe Judge highlights from the presser and whatnot, man. Not much to be, pulled from that presser. I mean, he really just, same old Joe Judge stuff, man. Just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. You really didn't get a lot out of him. And we'll see where the Giants go moving forward.
Big shout out to one of our resident Cowboy fans, Monique. Says that's weird. I did not get a notification on that one. You know, YouTubes, they do that sometimes. So
Nah, I
shout
heard
out to
that
everybody.
YouTube and the Google corporations there, they don't send notifications out to Cowboys fans. That's what I heard. I don't know, especially after they took a big L this week.
Yo, I watched the Cowboys game with Monique this weekend. It was quite interesting.
Yeah, I heard it was popping over there.
Who else? The guy in the building. Shout out to my man Paul, the flipping sports guy. Says let's go for
Yes,
round
sir.
2. And big shout out to my man as well, because he just cracked 1,000 subs. So congratulations on that, brother.
Big salute, bro.
Who else we got in the building? Tonio Bot.
Hey,
721.
I'll catch Tonio on
Authentik
Thursday.
And the beard. Appreciate you stopping by, brother, for sure. Stan Albert's in the building. What's up, Haitian OG and Beard OG?
Yes, sir.
Scapegoat for Jones.
Shout out online Big Blue one time. Jason Garrett, scapegoat.
Perry Max says so much parity in the league. Not surprised if the Bears win.
Lions.
You go down to Bear Lion.
Come
It's a
on,
lion.
brother.
Lions
Them
and
eyes.
Tigers and Bears.
Speaking of little lions, I got Walter back here on the couch. So if you see some movement, that's just my that's one of my cats back there. He's taking a little nap right now on the couch one time.
Oh man, Mr. Mini Guy is in the building. What's good, Mr. Mini Guy? Appreciate you stopping
up,
by.
fam?
Hey, no Mets, no Nets, no Jets. Salute on holiday, but I had to check in. Beard, what up? Authentic, what up? Sunday, what up? JG,
Gone.
Joshua Moreno says time to bring in Lincoln Riley as the next Giants head coach.
Ooh, I wouldn't be too mad at that. Moreno.
What'd I say? Moreno?
Moreno.
I'm on this small screen, man.
Yeah, like, what does it say? What's up,
Big shout
David?
out to David. Appreciate you joining us as always, brother. It's always
Damn,
great
we
to
got
see
some
you get
we
in
got
here.
some true troopers that are day ones, man. Always pulling up, man. We really appreciate y'all being in the building, yo.
And big shout out to Blazing Serenade in the building. Says, let's go. JG is gone.
I've been seeing a lot of people saying, let's go, JG is gone. And the question I ask is, where are we going? I asked that to Alex Wilson. He said, we going straight to the bar. I said, I feel you.
Oh, man. So we appreciate everybody who is joining us right now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up while you guys are here. Help get this stream out to the YouTube universe.
Yes, sir.
It is time to break down some Week 11 action.
Let's get it, man. So we're going to start with these Cowboys one time, man. The Kansas City Chiefs had played so bad on defense earlier this season that the Dallas Cowboys and their top-ranked offense probably felt confident that they could keep things rolling Sunday night. Chris Jones and the rest of the Chiefs defense made a major statement against Dak Prescott, who was lacking a few of his weapons on offense. Chris Jones piled up 3.5 sacks while forcing a fumble and recovering one. And Charvarius Ward and L'Jarius Sneed picked off Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott at crucial points in this game, helping the AFC West leading Chiefs to a 19-9 victory over the Cowboys. The Cowboys have now lost 2 of 3 since winning 6 straight games after losing opening day to the Super Bowl champs on Thursday Night Football. Man, the beard. One more time, that roadmap was looking real good, man. You called it. You said that the Chiefs' defense was going to be the reason why the Chiefs would win this game, and you just kept saying, I don't know. I got a feeling. That's what you were saying. I don't know where these feelings come from, man, but you've been spot on, man. So what did you see in this game? Tell me what you got.
So, I mean, it's crazy because, I mean, this Chiefs defense in the last, we'll say 4 weeks has been, completely different than the beginning of the season, and when we talked about it on Sunday and Thursday, I talked about Melvin Ingram and how, since he's come back, it's kind of just been that little piece that's kind of allowed everybody else to play in a more of a comfortable position than they were previously. And the other big name that came back in this game was Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And we were talking about how Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a guy that can carry the team as far as running the ball. And this is what they needed to run the ball. Running the ball helps your defense so much. You know,
Controls
like
the clock.
it controls the clock, and that was such a huge thing. And then, Dallas obviously was missing players, right?
Yeah.
But we talk about this all the time. This is the NFL. People get hurt. That's why you have depth. These rosters and practice squads are larger than ever now because of the COVID and the 17 game season. So it's like, CeeDee Lamb, missing CeeDee Lamb for the second end of that game was huge because he's a guy that they like to go to a lot, especially on third downs. And Dallas was 5 of 15 on third downs.
Yeah,
You
this
know,
was an ugly third down game across the board because the Chiefs weren't that great on third down either. I mean, they were 4 of 12. And, the thing about the defense, when you were talking about the Chiefs being, their defense would stand up and that's why they would win this game, I didn't expect it to be on both sides of the ball with Dallas Cowboys defense standing up too because they kept them in this game for as long as they possibly could. And that offense just never quite got clicking. The running game never quite got going.
Nope.
And the Chiefs definitely, dominated that portion of the game when you talk about the running game. Time of possession was pretty even in this game. And just one quick shout out to Micah Parsons, man. 9 sacks on the seasons. He's 5 shy of Javon Curse's record now. So 7 games left. I hope he can break that record because you just see it. He's been chasing that quarterback, trying to get him all day. And they finally got to him on that one. I believe Patrick Mahomes fumbled that one, right?
yeah, he had a forced fumble, 2 sacks, 4 tackles, and 2 tackles for loss in this game.
So that might actually put him a little bit closer than 5 shy of Javon Curse, I think.
Yeah, he is
He's at 11 now.
he is on a mission right now.
Yeah, man.
There's
And they
no
play
doubt
with
about it.
tenacity over there in Dallas. I love what I see out of their defense. It's unfortunate for Cowboys fans that their offense couldn't get clicking, but missing a ton of weapons, man. No Randy Gregory, no DeMarcus Lawrence, obviously, Tyron Smith, Amari Cooper, and then you talked about CeeDee Lamb being banged up. And the Cowboys, they really couldn't get it done in the red zone, man. 0 for 2 in the red zone.
Yeah, and not even just that, they weren't able to capitalize on the Chiefs' turnovers. If you look back at, the Chiefs had been turning the ball over at this insane rate, and I mean they had 2 more turnovers in this game as well. But if you're playing the Chiefs, now especially when their offense is clicking a lot more, I mean it didn't necessarily show as far as points, this crazy sort of 40-point Chiefs game, but still the offense played fairly well. The Cowboys only got 3 points off those 2 turnovers.
Yeah, that's
You
not
know,
going
like
to win you ball games.
you have to capitalize on those sort of things. And I mean Dallas running the ball. Like if Dak doesn't have CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, Zeke and Pollard have to step up. And we
Yeah.
know they're capable of doing it because they've done it at points this season already. And yeah, Zeke, turned his ankle a little bit, but he came back in the game and
And he
he
looked
still
fine
ran.
after he came back. It looked to be a problem when you first saw the injury and he was kind of hobbling on the sidelines. But I think once he got back in the game, you're not going to be out there with a bad ankle out there trying to really make cuts and trying to stay in a game. That's the kind of injury that will take you out of the game. As far as the rushing game too, the Cowboys only had 1 first down rushing the ball, and the Chiefs in return had 8. So they dominated them on the ground here. I mean, whether the numbers show it or not, Clyde Edwards-Helaire only had 63 yards rushing, but only on 12 carries. And then
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill had the big 33-yard run as well.
They ran the ball 26 times. For the Kansas City Chiefs, running the ball 26 times is a lot,
Yeah, and the beautiful touchdown to Travis Kelce. I love that play
Oh,
design. They had 3
that was a
running
great
backs,
play.
and then Travis Kelce, a quarterback. He just takes the shotgun snap and just goes right up the middle for a big touchdown. I felt sorry for whoever was waiting for him at that goal line because he had a full head of steam running maybe 10 yards before he got to that goal line. I'm like, oh, hit Mack truck straight up through the barricade, man. It was a beautiful run, though, and a beautiful play design.
And the thing that's crazy is I think a lot of people see that Kansas City Chiefs offense and they're like, well, why can't our offense have plays like these? Because not everybody's offense is built with the personnel like the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they
Yeah.
have these type of players that can get a little bit more creative with their play calling. And I mean, like we talked about, Dallas only 82 yards on the ground. 31
Yeah.
of those came on 1 Pollard run.
Yeah.
And what the Chiefs did too, the Chiefs did a good job of not allowing the big play. Dak's longest completion of the game, 19 yards.
Mm.
I mean, and that's, can be considered after the catch too, which is kind of crazy. But Dallas is just, they gave up 5 sacks, 3 turnovers. Dak had 2 interceptions and 1 fumble. That's
And you
what you
could
got.
see Dak Prescott was uncomfortable in the pocket all day long. I mean, that defensive front from the Chiefs was getting to him. Even when they weren't getting sacks, they were just getting around him and just causing problems for him where he just couldn't get quite comfortable and get rhythm. And I talked about this too on our last stream. when you don't have Amari Cooper out there, it's very, even though they didn't target him a lot in the last couple of games, Amari Cooper had some games this year where he's like targeted incredibly, like 11. I
Mm-hmm.
think he had 18 targets in one game this year or something like that. But, the past couple of weeks, they haven't been targeting him, but he can also play that decoy role. And without him, you saw a lot of drops in this game from the Dallas Cowboys wide receivers, and Dak just seemed to lose confidence. It surprises me that in a close game here, it was 19-9 in the end, that the Cowboys only ran the ball 16 times. And it's not like they didn't have a decent average yard per carry. Zeke had 32 yards on 9, which is not that great, but Pollard with the big run gives him 7 carries for 50 yards. You would think that they would rely on that run a little bit more, kind of like how we did against the Raiders. As soon as we realized the pressure was getting to the quarterback, we went straight to the run for the rest of the game, and it allowed us to hang in the game. So I think a lot of this you got to put on the coaching staff as well. It always surprises me when a running team like this that does have an identity with Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard can't find a way to get the running backs to carries. That's really puzzling to me. And it goes back to these roadmaps you've been drawing up for the past couple of weeks. Like, teams need to find a way to run the ball, commit to the run. We've talked about it with Antonio Gibson last week with the 20 carries on 60 yards. That doesn't look that great. But at the end of the day, you keep teams off balance. You can run play action off of that better. Not that you can't run play action when you're not running the ball effective, but it allows your play action to see more success. And in this game, Dak Prescott, 43 throws, man. It's just way too much. His QBR was 10.
Look, hey, listen, we kind of like touched on it a little bit after the Denver game. We were like, is this an anomaly or is this a formula of how to beat the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah.
And we kind of like got thrown off of that because the next game was against the Falcons, and the Falcons didn't have Cordell Patterson in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Or they lost him in the first quarter. And it just got out of control so crazy that you kind of almost forgot that Dallas, lost to Denver the week before.
Yeah, bad too, with all their weapons.
Bad. And so now it's like, okay, if you can get to Dak and make him uncomfortable and take away, one of those dominant sort of aspects of their offense, you can definitely win. And I think you can run the ball on Dallas.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe not necessarily for these big gashing gains, but just enough, like you said, to keep them off balance. And what people really don't understand is we talked about this, the running game helps your defense. The amount of time that goes in between 2 running plays versus 2 passing plays is significant. And that time
especially if you don't complete those passing plays.
Exactly. And that time difference is time where your defense is on the sideline getting a rest, figuring out what the next how we're going to attack this offense when we go back in the game. Those sort of little things that it just are the little things that make the big difference. And the Chiefs did all of the little things, which is how you win a sloppy game like this. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you agree with me, but I definitely was like, this game's going to go 100% under that 55.5 points. And it didn't even get close.
Nah, I think I did take the over on this one. I thought that with these 2 high-powered offenses, we was going to get a lot of points. But both defenses showed up in this game. I think it was 5 or 6 total turnovers. I think it was 5 total turnovers in this game. You're not going to get a lot of points when it's like that. And then in the red zone, both teams were combined 2 of 5. Cowboys were 0 of 2 there. It's just that doesn't yield a lot of points. But outside of that, it was a pretty even matchup, man. The
a lot
yards,
of the
everything,
stats.
the plays, the time of possession, the first downs, the third down efficiency. Total plays was 64 to 66. Just a very even game. That's what surprises me so much about the Cowboys not running the ball more in this game. I don't know why they felt like they had to throw the ball so much in a game where their defense was keeping them in it.
Crazy. Listen, Cowboys Thursday turnaround. Not going to have Amari Cooper. Most likely not going to have.
Man. It's definitely not an easy game.
Not going to have CeeDee Lamb probably because, that turnaround from a concussion from a Sunday to a Thursday game, that's not easy.
Tough. That's going to be tough.
So this game was an important game for them. And they're playing these good teams. They don't I don't want to say, I don't want to come off as a hater, even though obviously I hate the Cowboys, but I still give respect where respect is due. But things are going to get a little interesting down the stretch here for them.
Yeah, the schedule gets tougher. They're playing better teams here on the back half of the schedule, and teams now the tape is out. The recipe is out of how to beat them. You know, you got to stop the run. But I think when they do have all their weapons, we have only seen one game, which was the Broncos game, where with all the weapons, they were shut out pretty much in that game. Dak Prescott going into that last 6 or 7 minutes of the fourth quarter, his statistics were absolutely horrible until that point. He ended up putting up a couple garbage time touchdowns. But in the long run, I think that the Broncos exposed them in a certain way that if you have the defense, a good defense to be able to do that, stack the box a little bit, stop that run, have some good corners out there making some plays. You got 2 interceptions from your secondary in this game from the Chiefs. That's the formula, but it's not an easy one. You know, that's not a formula you could just go and mix up like a creatine shake or something like that over here. You really got to have the personnel to be able to stop the Cowboys like that. So it's going to be interesting moving forward, man. I'm really keeping my eye on them, especially with my Giants playing such awful football. I'm just curious as to where the Cowboys are going to land. Are they going to give any other teams in the NFC East a shot at trying to catch up to them? And what it's going to look like when they do get into the playoffs, because it is looking like they'll get into the playoffs. What kind of caliber team they'll be in the playoffs? Are they going to be a one-and-done type squad, or are they going to be a team that we, can expect to make a deep run in the playoffs?
We gonna see.
We gonna see. And I know Cowboys fans are thinking more along the lines of a Jadakiss, we gonna make it. But I don't know. We like the Beard just said, we definitely gonna see, man. But that was an interesting game, and I'm looking forward to seeing the Cowboys here on Thanksgiving. And just to let y'all know, Thanksgiving we're gonna be doing a special show where we're gonna go live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna be breaking down all those games, man. So definitely pull up. It's kind of out of the norm for us to do a show that early on a Thursday. But on Thanksgiving, it's only right, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting with some fam, eating some food, chilling out, watching some football. But make sure y'all tune in 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We on the parlay vibes almost on a Thursday on a Thanksgiving.
I love doing those fantasy DraftKings lineups because it's just 3 games for that day, so it can get really interesting as far as like who you pick and play. And there's gonna be a lot of like pieces missing on a lot of these teams in that game, so it's gonna be fairly interesting who stands out and who doesn't.
And what are the games? It's is it Bears Lions?
Bears Lions, I believe. Yes,
yeah, Bears
with
Lions,
Andy
Cowboys
Dalton,
Raiders. Andy Dalton, man.
Dalton. Yeah.
Dude, right.
Andy
The
Dalton.
Bears game was getting crazy last week.
Bruh, I saw this guy, and the only reason why I say this is because that game was part of this amazing bet that a person put down. So it was a 15-leg parlay that consisted of like football games, hockey games, college basketball, a golf match. It was just random as all heck. 15 things, right? And one of the NFL games was the Ravens money line, so the Ravens to win outright. He put down $50. He hit all 15 for $1.1 million.
From $50.
Yep.
See, that's the kind of stuff that'll get you into trouble. You be like, oh, man, I'm about to put up this hot dub every week, and you just losing 20 for nothing. Hey, well, shout out to him, though, man. That's major right there, man. Coming up 1.5. Bro, I don't even know what I would do if something like that happened to me. It might just be the beard, because I might just vacate out the country or something. Y'all might not find me. Like, what the hell happened on Awthentik one time?
Man, we just go upgrade the studio a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know how I do up in here, man. It's looking real nice up in here, man.
But we gotta have a little off-site studio,
you talking about like some Empire vibes and whatnot,
like a fun factory, like Robin Big Fun Factory, but it's Awthentik and the Beard Fun Factory.
I like that.
Is that what it was called? The Fun Factory?
Goals. I think it was something factory. Yeah, I think it was a Fun Factory. Some factory.
That is goals, 100%. I'm sure
that's goals
both
right
are
there.
On the same page.
That's definitely goals, man. But we'll see, man. Monique, I'm gonna send some prayers your way for them Dallas Cowboys. Y'all gonna need it for sure. But let's move into this Saints-Eagles matchup, man. This one was another surprising matchup for real. And let's go back to this right here. So, Jalen Hurts. Awthentik and the Beard sponsors Jalen Hurts, I swear, man. So if Jalen Hurts, if you're out there seeing this, man, we're trying to make that fun.
They're still out there hating, dog. They're still out there hating.
I know. I know you saw a couple things on my Twitter, but Jalen Hurts continues to get better on a weekly basis, and he could be that much closer to being named the main quarterback for the Eagles franchise. Hurts dominated the Saints for the second straight season, rushing for 3 scores, coupled with a Darius Slay, excuse my giant slang there. Darius Slay pick 6 off Trevor Siemian, who I thought has been playing some pretty decent football, but he just makes those big mistakes you like to talk about with Taylor Heineke too. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the New Orleans Saints 40-29 on Sunday. The Eagles, 5-6 now, have won 2 in a row, while the Saints, 5-5, have dropped their 3rd straight since losing quarterback Jameis Winston to a season-ending ACL injury. Let me give y'all a couple of nuggets here. The Eagles, this one super surprised me. I've never seen a stat like this before. The Eagles are 4-0 when they hold opposing quarterbacks to under a 70% completion percentage. On the other hand, they are 0-6 when they do not. I thought that was very interesting because a lot of people don't think about the Eagles defense when they, think about this team. A lot of people like to think about the rushing attack and the offense. But big shout out to linebacker TJ Edwards. He had a fantastic day. 10 tackles, 1 interception. He had a fumble recovery and 2 pass deflections. I mean, that's what you want to see out of your linebacker for sure, man. And the other thing too, man, Devonta Smith. I've been talking about how Jalen Reagor's kind of taken a back seat to Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith has played 11 fewer games than Jalen Reagor. He passed Reagor in receiving already, and Smith has 2 games of 100 yards. Jalen Reagor has 0 games of 100 yards. So I'm looking for him to really, really, really get it together. The Eagles now are 1 game back from the Panthers for a wild card spot. Oh, and they got the tiebreaker over the Panthers. They just beat the Saints, who are also trying to beat them out for another position in the playoffs. Dare I say the Eagles probably are set up right now in position to make a little bit of a playoff run?
Look, yes, they are. I mean, we can't deny it.
Why does this always gotta happen? Every year they start off slow.
They found their identity.
Oh yeah, and it's running.
Welcome back, Miles Sanders. Everybody. This other thing is crazy too, and I be seeing Twitter because Twitter people don't be looking. They be seeing, but they don't be looking.
I think I saw the tweets you talking about.
It was something along the lines of "Welcome back, Miles Sanders." Jalen Hurts still leads in carries or attempts.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it was early in the game.
This is Miles Sanders, 16 carries, 94 yards. The Philadelphia Eagles ran for 242 yards. Then they're talking about Jalen Hurts don't pass the ball, right? Okay.
Oh, wait. Before you go into your passing stats. When you dip the nugget in the barbecue sauce, I dip the nugget in the sweet and sour sauce for you one time. The Eagles have rushed for 200-plus yards in back-to-back games. Salute to them. It's the first time that has ever happened in franchise history. 43 years, bro. 43 years.
You see how it's spread out? Hurts, Howard.
Oh, it's amazing.
Sanders.
You want the numbers? You got Miles Sanders, 16 for 94. You got Jordan Howard, 10 for 63. You had what was your boy? Oh, I didn't even put the Boston Scott numbers on here. It was like 2 for 16 or something like that. And then you already know Jalen Hurts out here just doing damage.
And so they want to rag on Jalen Hurts and his passing, right? Not the best completion percentage, but the passes counted. 13 to 24, right? Mm-hmm. 7 of those 13 passes that he completed were for first downs.
Come on, dog.
I mean,
these nuggets is fresh.
That's what you want out of your quarterback. Like, this is the thing is I'm not saying that this is going to be Jalen Hurts for his career, right? Because I think he's going to continuously improve as a passer, right? But it's almost like Jalen Hurts and Taylor Heineke are these new age game managers, where they're not like your Trent Dilfer style game managers, right? They're your game managers that they're not necessarily need to pass the ball 40 times, but they're making plays. The pass plays that they make count. They're making plays with their legs. They're extending plays. It's almost like this hybrid game manager. It's kind of crazy, and I love it. I think it's a great way to kind of, help your young quarterbacks grow. When you have a run game to lean on, it's super important.
And both those quarterbacks are.
Yeah, and when he is able to make the plays and is needed to make the pass plays, a la on a third down, what does he do? He completes them. He makes the plays. And The thing that's crazy is that, obviously big shout out to Philly defense. They forced 3 turnovers. And Slay, this is back-to-back weeks for touchdowns for him, right? Then you have a fumble touchdown recovery last week, and now the interception this week.
That dude's balling, man.
And special teams, Eagles, special teams. Jake Elliott, 4 field goals. 4 for 4. No misses. Like, this is like all these things. The defense forcing turnovers. You're running the ball. Your defense is doing well. Your special teams is doing well. It's like all phases of the game, which is crazy. But, the Eagles kind of let them back in. It was 33-7. And then the Saints kind of came back in.
It's tough to really keep a team like just, when you're blowing a team out like that, it's tough to keep. It reminds me of their game versus the Raiders earlier on this season. It's like when you get that big of a lead, I know people like to call it garbage time, but you're just trying to keep everything in front of you.
That's why it's not garbage time. You know what I'm saying? Because they're up 33-7. Next thing you know, it's 33-22.
Yeah,
they're only
for
down
me,
11
garbage
points.
time is like if it's 33-7 in the fourth quarter with like 6 minutes left in the game.
Yeah,
maybe we can look at that like garbage time. But when you're up that big and it's you're in the third quarter, there's still a lot of time left in that game. I mean, New Orleans scored 22 points in the fourth quarter. It was the most points scored in a quarter in that game. And the Eagles came out hot, 14 in the first quarter, 13 in the second quarter, and then 6 in the third quarter and 7. I mean, they just kept it going all day long. The crazy stat that I'm seeing here is the third down efficiency from the Philadelphia Eagles. 21 third down attempts, 12 conversions. I mean, it's right around a little bit above 50, but it's still crazy that they had 21 third down attempts. The Saints weren't bad either on third down. They were 6 of 13 in this game. And time of possession was dominated by the Philadelphia Eagles, 37 minutes to 23 minutes.
It's the winning formula, man.
It really is
the winning formula in today's NFL. They always talk about it, but they usually only talk about it with players like Rodgers, Brady, Mahomes. You got to keep them on the sideline.
Right.
Why not use that same sort of theory against every single team that you're playing?
I don't know where teams
get
away from that kind of a game plan. I really don't know.
And so they came back 33-22, and what happened after that? Another big play by Jalen Hurts.
Put it away.
24-yard touchdown run game.
The ankle collector.
I loved it when you first came up with that one. I said, yeah, that's
somebody else came up with that one. I retweeted somebody else coming up with that one. I thought it was just an amazing. You ain't never heard nobody say he was collecting ankles.
Yeah, because there's a bone collector. Denzel Washington, but Jalen Hurts said, "Hey, look, I'm a strapping, young-looking man. I can do Denzel and be the ankle collector." And man, it was. Listen, I saw it live. And I was like,
amazing. It's amazing. Third down too, man. Third down.
Yes.
It's if you settle for 3 there, the Saints are still in that game.
It's a 14-point game at that point.
Yeah.
And I know how quickly those things turn around. I mean, you saw the Pittsburgh Steelers Chargers game Sunday night. The Steelers were down 17 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Came back, made it a game. Should have won that game for real.
They're like 232 or something like that when down by 17 points in the fourth quarter.
232 though.
Yes, it was crazy. I was like, yo, that's wild. But no, listen, the Eagles, shout out to my man Leroy. He's a Steelers fan. He said, let's not talk about that game, please.
Shout out Leroy one time in the building, man. Yo, quick nugget about the Eagles. A couple nuggets here. A lot of people in the Giants community, y'all know the magic number that we've been trying to hit in the whole Jason Garrett era has been 30 points, right, for the offense. The Eagles have scored 30-plus 5 times this year. That offense is completely on fire. They came into this game as the 3rd-ranked rushing offense in the league. Jalen Hurts now is the 3rd youngest quarterback to rush for 3 touchdowns in a game ever. Cam Newton was one of them. I forget. One of the other dudes is some OG from back in the day. I can't remember exactly who it was, but he's also the first quarterback to rush for 3 touchdowns in a game since 2012. It's been that long, and that was Russell Wilson. So, man, my thing is like this, and I talked about this with Big Pat last night on his stream. We've really got to stop, one, overvaluing the pocket passer, the traditional pocket passer, especially when that pocket passer has no pocket presence. That's one thing. When you think about the pocket passer, don't think that he has to have this perfect offensive line, because we saw it. When you look at that Bucs game against the Giants, Tom Brady didn't get sacked all night, right? But then as soon as the backup came in, Blaine Gabbert, he ain't know what to do. It's not like he's playing behind a different offensive line. He takes the first sack of the night like maybe 3 snaps in. So I think that we got to start, one, stop overvaluing the pocket passer. And can we please stop undervaluing these running quarterbacks, because running quarterbacks put themselves in positions to make more big plays than these other quarterbacks who are just sitting in the pocket just chilling. Jalen Hurts being one of them. And the list go on and on and on. Me and Big Pat were talking about how Josh Johnson is not getting a fair shot in the NFL ever. You got quarterbacks like Davis Mills, and no disrespect to Davis Mills. I know he's a young guy. They're trying to see what he got over there. But there are backup quarterbacks in this league with the traditional Cap Rooney style of play that are getting hella opportunities to play on the field, and they're no good. Some of these quarterbacks that are being overlooked, that are run first, let's call them quarterbacks, or have that running ability, they deserve some of these shots. People been, man, the whole offseason, the amount of Giants fans that were ragging on Jalen Hurts is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He hasn't even played 16 games yet, and he's out here doing it big. Today's word of the day, or name of the day, is Willie Beeman. The graphics department hit me up. They couldn't get us the graphic in time. But listen, Willie Beeman, dog, that movie came out in 1999. That's how long this has been an issue for that style of quarterback. Traditionally, that quarterback is normally black, right? It's been that long that they made a movie about it in 1999, and in 2001, we're still hesitant on the rushing type of quarterback. We got to stop. These guys deserve a fair shot. Jalen Hurts right now is poised and in position right now. He put the Philadelphia Eagles probably in the second best position as far as quarterback situations go in the NFC East right now, and this was a big game from him. No passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, and a lot of that was on the back of his running style and the rest of those guys. The running backs, I hate that Boston Scott took a backseat because he's the one I picked up on my fantasy squad. But Jordan Howard is out here doing big things. And now that they got Miles Sanders back, when we talked on Thursday for the previews, we were questioning, how will they use Miles Sanders? And we kind of both were leaning towards, maybe they should use him more like how they were using Kenneth Gainwell. But they went and said, nah, he is our premier feature back. They saw the success with Jordan Howard. Now they got a 2 running back system that looks dead perfect with Jordan Howard. 10
carries for Howard and 16 for Sanders. Is that what it broke down to, I think?
Yeah. Yep. And between the two of them, what is it? It's 157 yards on 26 carries. Good dog. I'll take that every day.
All day. All day. Big shout out to Rich Jeweler Brady, a.k.a. Tommy Boy. Says, my condolences to Awthentik for smoking the Giants.
Yeah, we knew that was going to go down over here, man. I can't. Oh, yeah, you picked the Giants to cover, I think. I knew they wasn't going to cover. I was like, ain't no way, bro. This Bucs team is going to come out here hot, steaming hot. And that's what they did.
Look, let's not forget, the Eagles just did all that running, right?
Against the number 1 rushing defense in the entire NFL.
Thank you.
Come on, man.
They were only allowing 72.9 yards a game rushing. It's not like they ran for 96 or 106. 242 yards.
That's a day.
And listen, the scariest part about it is what's the best time of the year to be running for 242 yards?
Right now through December, and if you're lucky enough, possibly into January.
Look, ain't nothing else to say. The Eagles have put everybody on notice.
We slept. I fell for it. You know how you can, you can allow opinions. Some people allow opinions to completely change their opinion, right? When you hear a popular opinion, you just feel like you're the outcast. Some people take it into consideration, and it kind of just leans your opinion a little bit one way or the other. And I think with what was happening with Jalen Hurts, I was starting to second guess my gut about the kid, because we know that he's not a perfectly, developed quarterback at all, by no means right now. He has a lot of work to do. But if this is the low, if this is what he started in 4 games last season, we're now in week 11. So if this is Jalen Hurts 14 games into his NFL career and this is the floor, whoa. Teams better watch out, because if that kid finds a way to really develop the mechanics to be able to really throw the ball down the field, with this running game. They signed Jordan Howard to a bigger contract now that they know he's the real deal. You got Miles Sanders out there. You got to keep a guy like Boston Scott for depth. This is what we've been talking about throughout like our last couple of streams about teams needing the depth at the running back position. This is what we've been talking about.
Big shout out to Tommy Boy, Rich Jeweler Brady. I got tired of people saying Eli is my father. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Hey, look, Tom, we've been over this a few times, buddy. You the rich jeweler, man. Can we get like a $4.99? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, shout out to all Bucs fans, man. Y'all that they bounce back in a major way. I think it says more about the Giants than it does about the Bucs, though. I wouldn't really necessarily say, oh, the Bucs are right back at that Super Bowl team. You know, I think they're solid. We knew they were a good team. You know, but it's just a great way to bounce back for them, man, and just show people like, yeah, we ain't no slouch. You ain't, even if we are banged up, you can't be the New York miniature Giants over here and come down here to our home. I told you about Tom Brady at home, bro. 18 touchdowns, 18 of the 27 was at home. Both those losses that he had were on the road to Washington and to the Saints. I knew he was going to come back home in front of the home fans and just light it up. I knew it, and they left a lot of points out there, but, man, the NFC is heating up. Is heating up right now, and I think that the Eagles are a team that keep your eye on them. Who they got next week?
You have to. They got y'all.
Oh, God. This is supposed to be our revenge game, too, man. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, if they go out there and beat the Giants, you're going to be looking at what? The Eagles are going to be sitting at 500? Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be sitting at 500 at 6 and 6.
6
Hey, man. And the Cowboys now are what? 7 and 3?
Yeah.
Wow, man. I was going to say something about putting the podcast on the line again, but we know that this is Lucas sponsors Awthentik in the Beard now from what I said about the Dolphins. So if I say something crazy again, but if the Eagles do get on top of the Dallas Cowboys and win this division, man, I'm going to give them super props. Because nobody thought they could do anything close to that. But maybe we jumping the gun a little bit. I mean, they have played back-to-back good games here. They have lost some games to some teams that aren't, really great teams. So we'll see. If you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, you just hope that they're getting better week by week, which is what NFL teams want to do. And if they're getting better week by week, man, they're looking really good right now. The Eagles, with the quarterback position being, in my eyes, solidified for them, and they got 3 first-round draft picks, imagine what this team could be next year.
And listen, I never doubted Jalen Hurts since the day he got drafted. That draft, I thought, I've been on the Jalen Hurts, said this guy is the guy, right?
I trust you. I always trust you. And that was why it reassured me about Jalen Hurts, because I used my eyes first, but you watched him in college a lot. So I trusted you with that. I know you always know about players that are popping up on the bubble that a lot of people don't know their names yet. And you were high on Jalen Hurts, man. So, just big shout out to the Beard. We like to pat ourselves on the back over here on Awthentik on the Beard.
But I was worried. I was worried about their defense. I was worried about their offensive line. And I didn't know anything. Core. I didn't know anything about Nick Sirianni. And it took them a few weeks. Listen, there's a difference between playing good football or getting wins against bad teams. To me, this is different. This is the Philadelphia Eagles finally finding out their identity. I don't understand how people don't, put more weight behind that. The importance of knowing what your football team's identity is will take you a long way.
Yeah.
In the National Football League.
You know it, man. And shout out to the homie David. He says Awthentik isn't a homer by any means. Dog, I'm just like this, dog. I call it like I see it, man. That's how I do. I call it like I see it. If you were to tune into Awthentik in the Beard season 2, you'd be like, man, Awthentik is in love with Daniel Jones. As soon as I see it ain't working out, I jump ship before the ship goes down. I'm not going down with the ship like the Titanic captain. I ain't going to be the one looking at the big water coming up like, all right, man, whatever. Bloosh. Nah, I ain't doing that, dog. Get me one of them rafts. I'm hopping off, or get me a piece of a door, something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be Jack in the water, freezing, dying. That's not going to be me, okay? I'm going to just keep it funky with you. And I always tell y'all, I am at liberty to change my opinion at any point. It's those people that want to die on those hills like, they start the season off, Jalen Hurts is trash. He's no good. He's never going to be this. How can we even say that, bro? Like, I've never laced up cleats on an NFL field ever, so I'm never going to talk about what a man can't do on the field. I'm never going to doubt these guys. I'm just going to use my eyes and just call it like I see it. Right now, I tweeted it last week about, that the Giants might have the worst quarterback situation in the NFC East, and I said I'm not ruling it out. Right now, after this week of football, I'm feeling more like, forget ruling it out. That's what it is right now. The Giants got the worst quarterback situation in the NFC East, and I saw somebody posted up one of the comments here. I saw you highlighted on the screen about Taylor Heineke or Daniel Jones. I don't know yet. I need to push. On that one. I don't know yet because I don't know what Daniel Jones would look like with a guy like Terry McLaurin. I don't, but my gut right now, what my gut telling me, and like I told you, I'm at the liberty to change my opinion whenever I want. My gut is saying Heineke.
And I said Daniel Jones at one point, so.
You said Daniel Jones like 5 days ago. So Nah, we just gonna keep it real over here, man. That's just what we do, man. But man, big salute to the Eagles and all the Eagles Nation, man. I'm not one of those Giants fans that's like, I hate the Cowboys, I hate the Eagles, die.
Well, I hate the
Prescott
Cowboys.
Get hurt. I don't hate the Cowboys. I don't hate the Eagles. I don't hope that they beat out the Giants or nothing like that, nothing crazy like that. But when the Giants are playing so awful, I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and just be like, I hope Dak Prescott loses today and breaks his leg. Nah, I'm not thinking like that. I want to see good football at the end of the day, man. And for me, even bad Giants football, it's better than no Giants football. I'll take it all day,
Shout out Philly Notion in the building. Says y'all some real ones. Goat, fire, 100.
Extend
Authentic,
that, man.
Bruh. You can't be jumping the Daniel Jones ship. Extend that, man.
No. Extensions, man.
Spike don't care.
No. We're not extending that man right now.
Hey,
Ain't
Philly
no
Notion.
way.
Make sure you tell everybody, man. There's some people in Washington and New York Giants fan base who, we have
Keep it funky.
Keep it
And
real
we got faith
funky.
in Jalen Hurts, man. Since day one over here, bro. I'm like, man, that Jalen Hurts kid kind of look all right. I don't know. He look all right.
Man. Now, imagine if they would have taken Justin Jefferson instead of Jalen Reagor.
Whoa, that would be crazy right now with Devonta Smith over there. And, one more person that we got to shout out before we move on from this Eagles game, okay? My man, Dallas Goddard, just got that bag, and he was implemented in this offense again this week, man. He's definitely worth the bag. Love that signing. Love that extension. He could be a solid tight end in this league for years to come, man. So that's awesome, man. And shout out to the Philly Nation, man. And if y'all aren't, sub up the Philly Notion, man. You know what I'm saying? Does great Philadelphia Eagles content. And if you a fan like how I'm a fan of football, especially the NFC East, you want to keep your eyes on some of these other teams, man, and figure out why they think our quarterback situation is so bad and their quarterback situation isn't so bad. I like to see it from the perspective of the fan base and the perspective outside the fan base, and then try to balance those two to come to a conclusion of my own.
Yeah, because we got 2 weeks left until that heat dial
NFC East
gets turned up.
450.
And we going back to back to back.
I thought you were going to say going back to Cali. The block is hot, though, for sure, for them last couple of weeks for Washington. Y'all see Eagles, Cowboys, Giants.
If you want it, you got to go get it right now once we get through these 2 more weeks.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Week 18 game is not going to mean anything. The Giants ain't going to be in the mix. Might mean a little something for y'all. We might be trying to play spoiler. That's going to be a hard one to root for if y'all need that win to get into the playoffs against my Giants, and we sitting at like 4-12. It's going to be terrible.
It's going to be lit is what it's going to be.
It's going to be terrible, man. But let's take a quick commercial break, man. Come back and get to these 2 games that we know everybody been waiting on, man.
Your wide receiver on IR? Aw, shucks. Your running back keep fumbling every week? Man, damn it all. Well, come chop it up with your boys. We are waiver wire tight. Authentic in the Beard. Every Sunday morning, streaming live at 11 a.m.
All right, man. The game that I know the Beard has been waiting for, man. Taylor Heineke and them Washington football teamers. I don't know what we call them, okay? Taylor Heineke was by far the lesser known of the two quarterbacks making their return to Charlotte on Sunday, but it was Heineke who upstaged Cam Newton by throwing for 206 yards and 3 touchdowns against the league's top-ranked pass defense, helping Washington spoil the 2015 MVP's return to Bank of America Stadium with a 27-21 win over the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. Terry McLaurin had 5 catches for 103 yards and a touchdown as Washington 4-6 piled up 369 yards of total offense. Heineke said winning at Carolina didn't mean much to him personally, because he only spent 1 season there in 2018, but he knows it was important to his teammates and coaches who have ties to Carolina, especially his now head coach, Ron Rivera. Washington is 31st in red zone offense right now, converting on 46% of their red zone attempts. They were 3 for 6 versus the Panthers, and it was just enough for them to get that victory. Couple little things I want to just touch on, because I know you got to break down that roadmap all day GPS style. It's like when you got Mr. T as your GPS voice. 8 penalties for 69 yards. I really think that Washington could have blew out the Panthers if they played just a little bit cleaner. You had the turnover that you guys lost with the fumble with Antonio Gibson, but it was great to see him bounce back in a major way. And Washington, man, we've been talking about this. I want to say this has been the theme of the show. We got the name of the show is Willie Beeman. The theme of the show is time of possession, man. And Washington dominated 35-53 to 24-07. Total plays, Washington had 65 and the Carolina Panthers had 49. Taylor Heineke, man, salute to that kid. He finished the day 16 of 22 for 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Man, I think J.D. McKissick needs to get a couple more carries because he had a great day too, 7 rushes for 46 yards. And shout out to the homegrown, my man Jared Patterson one time, 7 rushes for 23 yards. It's good to see him getting some carries in that backfield. But Beard, give me a breakdown. How was this map so successful?
Well, it wasn't all the way successful. We definitely did not. It was not all checkpoints like it was against Tampa Bay. Yeah. So, you know,
took us a little longer to get to the destination.
Yeah. We had to take some side roads, some back cuts, you know, detour a little bit, right?
Hey, back cuts might be a real, like, our area kind of term. Like, I took a back cut. I don't know, maybe. Maybe.
I mean, look. The Cam Newton, first of all, I got to give, you know, some shout outs to Cam Newton. And this goes back to kind of what we were talking about. Like, I saw so many people, like, just poo-pooing Cam Newton. I'm like, bro, we won the game. Like, you shouldn't be poo-pooing the other quarterback. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Poo-pooing.
Like, the dude played, Cam had a great game. And I'll tell you what, that first drive, I was like, oh, this is not going to be a good game. You know what I'm saying? The way he just came out, and I'll tell you one play specifically that stood out to me, and that was a touchdown pass to Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, my God. I was like, Cam Newton is back after that throw.
That's a big league throw.
Can't put it no way better. Big league throw. I mean, right over the linebacker, right in front of the safety, perfect dime. McCaffrey didn't have to do nothing but just put his hands up and brace for a hit. He didn't get hit. Just a beautiful throw. And you're right, Cam Newton on them first couple drives, I was like, man, they in for something. But I did notice that the offensive line was kind of breaking down, and I felt like the Carolina Panthers game plan was going to be limited with Cam Newton at quarterback. There wasn't going to be a lot they were going to be able to do to stretch the field.
Yeah, and the other thing is the game plan. Washington football team, which is, you know, basically my roadmap, which I've been trying to tell them from the beginning, but nope, it took them a little while, just like it took the Eagles a little while, just like it took the Colts a little while to find their identity. You know, so the game plan was I think I think I can go past the word think. This was the best coached game for the Washington football team all season long.
Yeah.
From beginning to end. And so then I do want to touch base about Antonio Gibson really fast, because you know I'm a big Antonio Gibson guy. And once again, I hate to talk bad about the fans, but you guys keep making me. The dude had a fumble. Does he have a fumbling problem? I mean, he has had fumbling issues. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I saw people, like, immediately being like, oh, we got to draft a running back. Oh,
after one fumble.
Got to cut him. And I'm just like, his fumbling is just really badly timed. And it is something that he needs to work on because he has fumbled the ball. At first I was like, it's not a fumbling problem. And I still don't think it's a fumbling problem, but it is a fumbling issue. Yeah. But I love the way that it was handled. Sit him on the bench for a little while, get a rock to Patterson, get a rock to McKissick, and then bring him back in and see what type of, not only what type of player he is, what type of teammate he is, what type of man he is. And he came back and he ran even harder. And there's things like that that you really need to see from your key players. I love it when I look at the stat sheet at the end of the game and I see McLaurin and Gibson as my leading receiver and rusher.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should be. Like, that lets me know that the game plan is working. Okay, so as far as the map goes, we'll go to the map first. DJ Moore under 75 yards, check.
Yep.
We held him to 50 yards. Christian McCaffrey under 100 yards of total offense. He got 119.
Yeah.
So
but it was a quiet 119, and they didn't commit to the run. They got to get a ball to Christian McCaffrey more. You know, I know he had a good bit, he had a good amount of touches there, but you still got to get him the ball more. He led the team actually with 17 total touches. He only had 10 carries for 59 yards. I just think you got to get him more implemented in the running game more. Give him like a good 16 carries, 17 carries on the day.
Yeah, I mean, he led the team in receiving and in rushing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's like, it was
fashion.
just, yeah. And then the next thing on the roadmap was Hassan Reddick to hold him to 0 sacks. He got 1 sack. So once again, right on that sort of threshold line of what you got to do to win the game. The big one, though, rush the ball between 30 and 40 times. 40 rushes Washington had. 40 rushes.
They almost exceeded the roadmap.
That is the game. 40 times we ran the ball. You can't, I mean, that is perfect because it allows Heineke's 16 to 22, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns. You run the ball 40 times. You know, like Jalen Hurts, he had the 3 touchdowns. His were rushing. He only threw the ball, I forget how many times total. I think it was like 21, something around there, 17.
24.
So it's like they're right in that,
18
range.
rushes for Jalen Hurts. I mean, good God.
It's
But you're right, man. You know how you talked about making those, when you do throw it, making those big plays and converting those third downs. I think y'all were like 50% on third down. But the one that stood out to me, the game winner. And these are the kind of plays that I'm looking for in New York, to be honest. Taylor Heineke scrambling. He waits until the absolute last second. First of all, he peeled out of the pocket and bought some time to extend the play, okay? He's waiting. I can't remember if it was a third or was it a fourth. I think it was a third down.
I think it was a third down.
I think it was a third down. He waits until the last minute, and he puts that short pass where only his receiver can get it. And that was the game for me right there. Game was over right there.
And it was listen, I was on the edge of my seat because in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is – because there was a couple of times in this game where Heineke, he was holding on to the ball for way too long. And these things have minimized over the last few weeks because before it was like I could count like 6 to 10 missed throws, holding on to the ball for too long.
Yeah, especially during the bad stretch that he just had before the Bucs win. He had some of his worst games as a Washington football team quarterback, and I don't think you can see that happening with him consistently though. He holds on to the ball, but he only got sacked 3 times in this game.
Yeah, especially if you're running the ball 40 times.
Right.
You're limiting the amount of opportunities that he has to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Because you're not asking him to throw the ball 45 times a game like they were earlier in the season.
Yeah, he's a small quarterback. You're not putting a lot on his plate and asking him to finish it.
And then the only other thing that was like a bad moment for him was the miss to Terry McLaurin in the touchdown because he had Terry McLaurin, but he threw it off his back foot and it just was a bad pass.
Which happens, I will never be mad at a quarterback for just missing a throw once or twice a game.
Yeah,
I'll never be mad because you see that from the best of the best quarterbacks. And you also see it from wide receivers, big drops. I could talk about the Bucs game. I forget who it was on the right side, back of the end zone, back pylon on a third down. I think they might have called a penalty on this play too on the Bucs. But Tom Brady, man, he eludes some pressure, steps in the pocket, and throws the ball deep down the field on the right side. It's a dime. It's a perfect throw. Wide receiver stretches out, hit him right in the hands, and he dropped it. When he ran back to the huddle, you don't see Tom Brady like, oh, I'm never going to get one of those throws again and looking all crazy because they know sometimes plays just don't connect, and especially the quarterback position. You'll see it with Aaron Rodgers every now and again where he just overthrows the wide receiver. It happens. You just, like you said, you don't want these things to be consistent. You don't want to know that your quarterback's going to miss 4 or 5 throws a game, you know? So when he misses one throw like that, but then he comes back and he makes those plays that seal the game, man. Like, yo, I'm a big fan of Taylor Heineke because he's the underdog.
Yeah, and look, what's my man's name who I was telling you guys about? Law firm. Jason Smith-Williams.
Oh, yeah, Smith-Williams. He's on the defensive side of the ball for y'all, right?
Yep.
Had
Him
a
and
sack on
Deron
the day.
Payne were the ones that combined for that sack
Yeah.
at the end of the game to seal the game. I mean, it was just one of those games where you made very minimal mistakes, right? And, you know, you didn't put yourself in position to lose the game. You put yourself in the position to win the game,
Yep.
which is what they did by, you know, that last offensive drive and, more importantly, the last defensive drive. Because I thought, we settled for a field goal at the end.
You
I
gave Cam
thought
2 chances at the end of that game when you didn't score a touchdown on that drive.
Yeah, and I thought, you know, this is like just setting up for like the Carolina front page to Cam Newton back sort of situation, you know. But
Yeah.
the defense stepped up, and big shout outs to the defense.
Yeah, they played well.
Cam Curl. How many times you remember me talking about Cam Curl in the beginning of the season?
Oh, yeah.
Like, where is
big
Cam Curl?
Yeah, you were a big Cam Curl fan last year when he filled in for Landon Collins, and he was just in y'all secondary all over the place.
He had a huge game. Huge game.
And the other Cam on the offensive side of the ball, too.
Look,
Cam Sims been missing.
Cam Sims. Listen, Cam Sims and DeAndre Carter. And this is the thing. When you're only throwing the ball the limited amount of times that Heineke is throwing the ball in a game, okay, threw the ball 22 times, right? McLaurin gets his. You just need the other guys to step up when they are given the chance to do so. DeAndre Carter.
You know they're keying
Cam
in
Sims,
on Terry McLaurin. You know that. Mm-hmm.
Cam Sims, DeAndre Carter, both 2 catches, both 1 touchdown.
Yep.
You know,
that's all you need. Just step up and make the big play when your number's called. You're going to be open probably, you know.
And DeAndre Carter, I mean, I was calling for this like 3-4 weeks ago. Like, let's get this guy involved more in the offensive side. He's been a stud returner for us this year.
Sure.
I think he makes a Pro Bowl as a returner this year. I'm pretty sure he's got to be leading the league on average on returns.
Yeah, I mean, every time you look up, he's got a big kick return. It's
so like I just to see him get more involved in the offense is fantastic. And look, moving forward, you know, at some point here we're gonna get, hopefully, fingers crossed, Curtis Sidefield Samuel will be
his situation
back,
is tough,
maybe,
man.
and then Logan Thomas will be coming back off of IR soon.
They talk about the groin injuries, man, and the hamstring injuries. Them things linger, bro. It's hard to get off of those. I think Julio Jones still dealing with that, man. You know, it's very and the thing about Curtis Samuel is like the more he doesn't play, the more his stock as a wide receiver in the NFL is just dropping. We talking about a guy that was like a 100 pass catcher just removed maybe a season ago. You know, and the injuries have just been killing him. It's unfortunate. He's the one free agent signing that people are just like, man, that's a major letdown. And it's really just injury driven. It's not that he hasn't performed when he's on the field. He's just not on the field.
He just hasn't been on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this was a game that we had to win, and we took care of business. And like I said, all around, one of the best games, just from coaching, you know, like the right play call. Scott Turner has finally come around to this run game. We ran the ball 40 times. Heineke back-to-back best games he's had, you know, probably in his career these last 2 games. Terry McLaurin, over 100 yards and a touchdown.
Only on 5 catches for McLaurin, too, man. To have 100 on 5, that's just
And then Gibson fumbling and then coming back, you know, getting contribution from everybody.
Oh, let's not forget
McKissick.
Cole Holcomb on the defensive side of the ball, leading the team with 10 tackles on the day.
Cole Holcomb's that guy too, man.
Yeah,
the linebackers have been playing so much better. The linebackers have been playing a lot better.
And, you know, the one thing you were saying on the preview show on Thursday that I was a little bit worried about is when you were like, you know, with Cam Newton in this lineup, it makes them that much more dangerous, right? And I was like, I was kind of sketched out about it. I'm like, you know, Cam ain't been there. How much of the playbook does he know? Can he come in here and just be implemented this quickly? And we saw it in this game. Cam Newton is back. That throw to Christian McCaffrey in that game showed you that Cam Newton is back, 100%. this was a tougher matchup for Washington than it was when the Giants played the Carolina Panthers. With Sam Darnold out there, it was just an easy win for us, I feel like. We were never really threatened in that game. And had it have been Cam Newton, I think it would have been a lot tougher of a road to victory for the Giants. But for y'all, y'all go out here in a game where Cam is back after having a fantastic week the week before, limited in snaps. He only had, I think, like 12 snaps the week before, but he had the 2 touchdowns, had the touchdown the first 2 plays that he scored on. Dude is just I don't know why teams were waiting so long to make the move on Cam Newton. He still shows he's got it. The one thing I would say about Cam, though, is he's still trying to squeeze the ball into too tight of windows with his arm strength, just trying to just beam the ball in there. And you saw it. You remember the 4th down conversion right before y'all kicked the field goal, where he went to the out route to Christian McCaffrey, and they came up short. Yeah. I look at those kind of plays, and I'm like, I don't like the play call there, for one. And for two, it's just Cam Newton looking at it. He's trying to squeeze that in too small of a window. You might want to try to tuck that and run, and he did try that on the last possession that he had, and he ended up getting sacked. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And it didn't work in either situation for Cam Newton. So I think they got to find a way to build around him a little bit. It's like DJ Moore, CMC, and that's it. Robbie Anderson still struggling, just not really getting a rhythm with Cam Newton. And hopefully for the Carolina Panthers, they could find a little bit more chemistry going into the season a little bit later here, because they got to find a way to make a run. They really do. That's why they brought Cam here on the 1-year deal. He's making a lot of money to only be playing a half a season. So I know they're looking to make that playoff run. I thought Matt Rule coached a pretty good game here, but Ron Rivera definitely outcoached him and outclassed him in this one, man. And I got to commend Ron Rivera for not putting Antonio Gibson on the bench for the rest of the game, because you got running back depth over there. You don't need him out there on the field. You could have got it done with Jared Patterson and J.D. McKissick, but instead they decided to give him a second chance, man, and he really showed out when he got that second chance, man. Damn near had 100 yards. Love that he got 19 carries on the day. That's the formula for winning for sure for Washington.
And it's the way that he ran, too.
Tough. Trucking people, man.
Got to get those tough yards.
If he could catch more, I'd put him in that hybrid back situation himself, man. He's a good runner. I really like Antonio Gibson.
He played wide receiver in college.
Yeah, he can catch the ball for sure.
Crazy, but big win for us. I'm super stoked. It got very, very nerve-wracking towards the end of that game for sure, especially on that last drive.
Y'all games be more thrilling than our games, bro. I'll be on the edge of my seat watching Washington like, yo, this game, they not supposed to be in it like this. And they really be in it for 2 weeks in a row here, man. I've been on the edge of my seat for Washington football games, early games at that, man. Definitely making my 1 o'clock Sundays a lot better. I got to keep it funky. It's good to be here watching y'all get these W's, man. And I'm happy for you, especially because y'all was in the dumps. Y'all were just a game back of the Giants, and now it's like
we're still 2 games under 500, but
for sure. But that NFC is not, it hasn't been cracking that crazy this year. So anybody can really make a run unless you the Detroit Lions and possibly the New York Giants. I just don't see the New York Giants making a run no more. Now after you lost that game to the Bucs, let me take that back. Because I called that we weren't going to beat the Bucs, and I said it was going to take a win against the Chargers, actually a surprise win against the Chargers. But when you look at the way them Chargers look right now, man, I sound crazy talking about trying to get a surprise win against the Chargers, man. Justin Herbert out here playing fantastic football. And Mike Williams got back. We talked about that on the parlay. Mike Williams, he had, 5 straight games, no touchdowns, where he started off the year with 6 touchdowns in the first couple of games.
Big touchdown.
He had the game-winning touchdown, man. So, big shout out to Mike Williams out here getting back on track, man. But who do y'all got next week?
We got Seattle Monday night.
Oh yeah, Seattle Monday night. Ooh, and Seattle is just itching to get a W. They're 2 straight weeks now without a W with Russell Wilson back in the lineup.
Bro, they're bad.
Yeah, they look bad.
I don't think do they only have 2 wins?
No, it's got to be more than that, right? Then they got 3 wins.
So, man.
Then they got 3 wins.
3?
Yeah, let me see. I got you.
And then we get the Raiders after that. We got to win the next 2 games if we can go into the division stretch 6-6.
Yeah, Seahawks sitting at the bottom of the division at 3-8 right now. Or 3-7, sorry.
3-7.
Yeah.
Ain't never seen a Seahawks at 3-7.
They don't have a losing season under Russell Wilson.
Pete Carroll was so distraught after the game. He said, I'm not doing a press conference anymore.
For the rest of the year.
I don't know if he meant for the rest of the year or not, but and Pete Carroll is like the most solid press conference giver there is out there.
Yeah.
He was just it's that whole thing.
Who'd they lose to this week? Was it the Cardinals with Colt McCoy? Is that what that was? Man, Colt McCoy out here. Colt McCoy is
and look,
proof
they got
that you do not-
mollywopped by the Panthers the week before. The Cardinals
and you know
did.
that one you're looking at it like, you know, Russ just getting back, maybe the hand's still jacked up.
No, I'm saying the Cardinals with Colt McCoy
Oh, the Cardinals did.
got
Yeah.
whooped.
Yeah,
And then came back, and it was like he was Colt McCoy from the week before the last week, you know, when they won the
and
first game
Colt
without
McCoy,
Kyler
what I was
Murray.
going to say about Colt McCoy is he's proof. If you got weapons, you don't need a fantastic quarterback. You can win some games with a quarterback like that when you got weapons out there. You got decent running game. You got good wide receivers out there and a decent defense. You can win games with any average quarterback, it seems like, in the NFL. So for me, it's like, where are them quarterbacks that's going to take you above and beyond, right?
Yeah. Like, what quarterback is going to win in New Orleans with what they have right now?
Right.
That's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, you
I
know,
feel so
Trevor
bad
Siemian,
for Jameis Winston. I feel so
yeah,
bad for
so
him.
bad, because you can tell, like, that dude is one. And listen, I don't care what anybody says. That dude's one of the hardest working, not even just quarterbacks, players in National Football League. When you see the things that he does and has done, a lot of people make fun of him.
Yeah,
He does, like,
I
all
love
these-
the little the speech that he said in front of that camp when Dak Prescott was right next to him. He said, "I know Dak Prescott right over there, but I'm outworking Dak Prescott." I love that right there. I love that, dog. Jameis Winston is such a character, man. But a lot of these players in the NFL, man, they're busting their butts trying to be the best they can be. I watched that new Odell Beckham Jr. Documentary that he released, man, and they showed a recovery of him and what he's doing for that knee, man, and just having to go to the doctors like every day, you know, having to go to rehab, having to lift all these weights, trying to build your thighs back up so that they can support your knee. It's just a lot of work, man, and here I am just trying to find a way to do a workout at least once a day, a week, man. So I got to commend all these NFL players out here, you know, from all the depth that they have, from all these guys on the bench to all the starters to the superstars to the no-names. They all out here working their butt off, man. They trying to do what they can do for their teams to win games and also trying to, you know, rise their stock and raise the bar for themselves, man. So it's like, that's why I don't doubt these players. I try not to doubt them, you know?
So does Carolina play Dallas again this year?
I don't think so, but we
Dallas
could
yet?
pull up the Cowboys schedule real quick. I don't think they do.
Because I know they played us. They played y'all.
Yeah, nope.
They don't. Oh, they already played.
They already played
Carolina.
in week 4. Yup.
That's right.
Yeah. So Cowboys right there. We're looking at right there. Sounded like Joe Judge. We
They got Raiders Saints.
It's tough. Y'all might be. I'm not even gonna say nothing about Washington right now. I'm not even gonna say nothing about y'all right now. Big win, back-to-back win. You upset the Bucks, and then you go out here and you handle business against the team. Were y'all favored or no? Y'all were 2.5 underdogs.
No, we were
in this one.
underdogs. Yeah.
Yeah. But I did think that y'all should have been favorites in this game, especially coming off that win against the Bucks, man. Washington's a decent team, and with Antonio Gibson healthy, man, y'all are a different team. 40
times a game. 30 to
40
40
times.
every game.
Bare minimum. Floor 30, ceiling. We can't even put a ceiling because if one more carry, they would have breached the 40 ceiling. So 50. We'll say 50 is a ceiling. But you
I
got
would
anything
love
else on this game before we
Hail.
close this
Hail.
one out?
Hail.
Hail. Wouldn't the hail?
Hail to the W, as my man Paulie be saying.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Paulie always
Paulie.
saying hell to the W.
Hey,
Y'all definitely got
hey.
the W.
Got to give a big shout out to the homie Corey from On the Warpath. It was his birthday on Sunday, right? And I
Yeah.
if y'all follow me on Twitter, and definitely subscribe to his YouTube channel On the Warpath. Shout out to Toothpick First String Podcast. But I posted a clip on my Twitter today, right before we went on air, of the last play of the Carolina Washington game. They were doing a live stream, and
Yeah.
it was Corey, Toothpick, and Paulie. And man, it was one of those. It's like the clips you live for, man. When like why we do this sort of content creating sort of situation, the like pure joy and craziness of us getting that final sack and it being his birthday. All three of them are doing like separate dances and separate songs they're singing. It's just beautiful thing to watch. So just want to give a belated birthday big shout out to the homie Corey over at On the Warpath. Definitely watch the clip. It's worth it no matter what. If you're a fan of football and your team has been in that situation before where you're like the edge of your seat and you win the game, you know what it's like. So it was crazy.
Haven't felt that feeling in a pretty long time here, man. It's been pretty bad. I'd say since maybe the Saints game, however many weeks ago that was, man. Real tough, man. But We're going to get into this Giants-Bucks thrashing next, I guess.
Let's do it.
God, I hate it. I hate it. I got to talk about this again? We got to talk about this again?
We do. So we didn't fix it from the graphics department. Should we just put up Jason Garrett fired on the screen instead?
Oh, what was it again?
It's Giants at Bucks, not Bucks at Giants.
Nah, we'll go with it. Whatever. It was Giants at Bucks. You're right about that, but we'll go with it because Jason Garrett fire. I want to keep that one for that episode. Y'all make sure to go check out that episode. We talked for about 2 hours about the Jason Garrett's firing. So, we got to send an email to the graphics department. I'm going to put that in my notes here for the graphics department one time. But
yeah, Willie Beeman. Don't forget about Willie Beeman.
I thought about the Willie Beeman. I just, couldn't come up with a concept to send to the graphics department to keep it funky with you. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, let's get it. Oh, the beard. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers pulled away from the lifeless New York Giants for a much-needed victory on Monday night. Tom Brady was sharp, but Tampa Bay's offense often stalled in Giant territory, settling for 3 field goals on the night. Nonetheless, the Giants' only touchdown came off a very short field. Tom Brady hit Mike Evans right between the numbers, but he somehow dropped a pass that anyone in our chat for surely could catch that ended up in the hands of Adoree Jackson. A few plays later, Daniel Jones connected on a touchdown pass to Andrew Thomas. That is not a typo. Andrew Thomas caught our only touchdown of the day. It was the last time the Giants would reach the end zone on the night as the Bucs ultimately destroyed the Giants in a 30-10 victory where the Giants looked more confused than they looked like an actual NFL product that would represent the people of New York. Jason Garrett was fired today earlier in the day, and Joe Judge had a press conference. We were watching this on or listening to this on Kid Blues channel, man, where he pretty much just said a bunch of vanilla quotes, didn't say anything, didn't really give us any details about anything. But he did say that the firing came from him and it didn't come from the Mariners. He didn't necessarily say it didn't come from the Mariners, but he said it came from him. Tom Brady just sliced us, man. A lot of this is going to be on Tom Brady highlight reel for sure. He was 30 of 46 for 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. It seemed like every Tom Brady interception don't be his fault. You know how we was talking about Daniel Jones, all the Evan Ingram tip passes, and nobody's making up those excuses for Tom Brady because every interception don't be his fault, I swear. 47 dropbacks on the night. He was hit 1 time. That boy's jersey was extra clean, and they should have probably been wearing an all-white instead of my Giants. Giants, I'm telling you, I'm going to say it again for the 3rd time today. Burn them white jerseys. Burn those white jerseys. Tom Brady was sacked 0 times on the day. Mike Evans had 6 receptions for 73 yards, 11 targets. That is how you implement a number 1 wide receiver, especially a 50-50 pass catcher, kind of like how we should be doing with Kenny Galladay. Godwin, 6 catches on the day for 65 yards and 1 touchdown. And OG Gronkowski out here doing big damage back out in the lineup, 6 receptions for 71 yards. The Bucs didn't even really have to rush the ball that much on the day, man. Leonard Fournette, 10 rushes for 35 yards. He had 6 receptions for 39 yards. And Ronald Jones had the lone rushing touchdown for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, let's break down a couple things. I'm going to start with Daniel Jones. We've talked a lot about Daniel Jones on the day, and especially with the firing of Jason Garrett. We've been talking about who's to blame for all this, what's going on with the Giants' woes, for lack of a better word here. And I don't think it's one thing you can really point at, but the quarterback play in this game was just god-awful from Daniel Jones. It's one of his worst games. I mean, I know a lot of people talked about the 2020 game against the Bucs being one of Daniel Jones' worst games. This one was even worse than that. Daniel Jones was 23 of 38 for 167 yards. His QBR on the day was 15.4. The 2 interceptions that he threw were god-awful. The lone touchdown that he got was on a short field. The miss to Kadarius Toney, I mean, you talking about Taylor Heineke missing Terry McLaurin in the end zone. The miss that he missed with Kadarius Toney, it was like a wide open, deep kind of a out route a bit, kind of where you just kind of sit down in the zone. There was a safety over the top a little bit that was late to get to the play. Daniel Jones just completely missed him on second down, and then on 3rd down. This has been the story for the Giants, man. There's always a penalty when we get down to the red zone. So looking at 3rd and long there, offside or false start on the offense, we drop back to even 3rd and longer. Giants got to settle for 3. Right there, I knew it was over. Game was over right there. Before I turned on my TV And we talked about this on the show earlier when we talked about Jason Garrett getting fired. I didn't even get to see the first drive from the Bucs, so I haven't even reviewed it. I ain't even look at it. I turned on the TV and we had the ball. I thought we won the coin toss and took the ball first. I'm looking at the scoreboard like, oh, we down 7-0 already. It's going to be a very, very long day. The red zone issues for the Giants just continue, man. Right now, I talked about Washington football team being 31st in the league right now, converting 46% of their red zone attempts. The Giants are dead last at 32nd right now, converting only 44% of our red zone attempts. And, you know, the Beard is always talking about this, especially with the Washington football team. You can't go into the half and allow teams to score points before the half. And I can guarantee you this, the Beard. Y'all stat for points allowed before the half cannot be looking like ours right now.
It's got to be.
You tell me if it is. I don't know if you know y'all numbers off the top. This season, in the last 2 minutes of the first half, let me just throw this out there for you. How many points do you think the Giants might have scored in the last 2 minutes of the half?
How many points have you guys scored?
How many do you think we've scored this year? And then I'll get to how many we've been scored on. How many
6.
points? 0. We have not scored in the last 2 minutes of the first half this whole year. The New York Giants have been outscored 45-0 in the last 2 minutes this year.
That is. You cannot win football games.
You cannot win football games like that.
And I bet you how many of those times, I'm sure you don't, this would kind of be even a lot more digging, but I bet you on 70% of those, the worst part about that stat is the follow-up to it, is I guarantee you about 70% of the opposing teams have received the ball in the second half.
Yeah, or the Giants going 3 and out.
Yeah.
We've seen that happen a lot this year. And we talked about this on the fired Jason Garrett being fired episode that we did earlier in the day around 2 p.m. today. The 4th and 2, you know, or we'll call it the 4th and 1. I've been calling it the 4th and 2 all day. We'll call it the 4th and 1.5. What were the Giants thinking there?
They weren't. Listen,
it's that simple.
They weren't.
They weren't.
Because in my mind, there's absolutely like, just, I mean, like in that situation, there's like very limited amounts of reasons why you would go for it there. If you're the 8-1 Lions,
maybe, right?
Okay, maybe. Okay, if you're up, you know, but if you're up by like 14 points and you want to make a statement, you know, or, I mean, that's pretty much it. It just doesn't make sense. You are literally down 17-10, which is a great position to be in against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at that stage in the game. All things
especially
considering,
when you stalled in the red zone, especially.
So it's like, just take the field goal. At that point, you take the field goal. And to me, like, you know, I talked about this earlier about running the ball, right? About how the amount of time that it takes for 2 run plays back-to-back versus the amount of time that it takes for 2 pass plays is drastically different, right?
For sure.
Especially if they're incompletes. Okay? If you kick the field goal, you make the field goal, just think about how much time passes from you kicking that field goal and making the field goal, kicking off, them getting the kickoff, commercial timeout, then getting back to the field. You're looking at like a 10-minute span.
Yeah.
Your defense gets a little bit of a breather. You know, you kind of like kill any momentum that the offense has, but instead you go for it on 4th down. You don't get it. Your defense is right back on the field. There's no like, that's like an instantaneous sort of situation.
Now that whole sequence of events that happened when we came out in the 3rd quarter, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
This is at the end of this. This is at some point in the 2nd quarter.
That was in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that was when they went up, because at the half it was 17-10.
No, you're right. It was in the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
I think it was the 3rd quarter.
Third quarter, because I have it in my notes right here where it went from being the 4th down. I have it like in a chain reaction. 4th down, 17-10. Could have been 17-13.
Right.
But ended up being 24-10. So in reality, it's almost like
that's a swing, man.
It's a swing. It's an insane swing. It's a 14-point more than that.
You know what I thought was really interesting about the Bucs too is they went up tempo offense after we went for the 4th down. They knew.
80
yards, put the touchdown in the end zone, man. And that's the drive to me that was the biggest drive in this game that looked like that highlight reel we were talking about earlier. I mean, it was like, I don't even think Tom Brady had an incompletion on that whole entire drive. It was just like, get to the line, say hike, bing, completion. Get to the line, say hike, bing, completion. Run, screen, bing. They even had a penalty on one of the plays. It got called back. They went back to the screen, bing, get another 25 yards. Like, the Giants are just, when you got to play that bend, don't break style of defense, you're just banking on your defense to be good in the red zone. It's just not a formula for winning. But at the same time, I don't know what else the Giants could do, because if you try to just like put a bunch of people in the box and, try to play man on man out there with the secondary that we had out there without Logan Ryan, you're going to get torched anyway. But at the end of the day, you got to try different things. They never tried to really get any pressure on the quarterback. And I was talking with the homie from NY Giants, Rush, about it, and he was just like, man, you got to blitz everybody. And I'm like, man, they're scared to get torched, and afterwards, looking at it in hindsight in the game, he's right on a portion of that. Like, you got to try different things. You can't just – this is the second high-powered offense that we've gone up against that Patrick Graham just says, you know what, I'm just going to try to play 3 safeties deep. We're going to just pretty much play a prevent defense and try to keep it all in front of us. It's just not a formula. You're playing scared. You're not playing to win the game. You're playing not to lose.
And I don't necessarily disagree with that defensive philosophy against certain offenses. But I think that, obviously Mike Evans is, he's probably top 15 wide receivers in the league, right? I think we could both agree on that.
1,000. I was thinking maybe a top 10.
I almost went top 10, but then I kind of like fell back.
His
a
numbers
bit.
might not say, but his touchdowns say it. God,
yeah, he leads the league. He leads the league in touchdowns right now.
Yeah,
but like he's more of that intermediate red zone threat than he is like the deep ball. And Godwin's kind of coming back off of another injury. See, this is for me. Like, I always look at things situational, like the little things leading up to it. Like, back to when Washington, when the Hail Mary play, right? When I was like, but why would y'all think they was going to kick a field goal? They just signed this field goal kicker. He's already missed an extra point. Like, like to me, I'm thinking like Godwin's just coming back off of being banged up. You know what I'm saying? Like, Gronkowski's killing you in the middle, but you just can allow that and take, if you want to take away the deep pass, but you could probably hang with Godwin and Evans in the back end of the secondary. So like maybe it would have made more sense to kind of, blitz. At least,
and
at
just
least
try to make Tom Brady uncomfortable. Like he was comfortable all day, tiptoeing through the pocket. Did you see when he did the little scramble and he slid? He almost like tried to kick.
Hyped.
I think he tried to kick homie too when he slid. He was like, kind of threw his foot out there like that at
like
the end,
old
and he got up and he was just like, ah! I was like, look at Tom Brady.
He ain't never ran for that much in his life before.
My man is 44 years old, bro. In 6 years, he's gonna be 50. If Tom
Brady leads the league in touchdown passes right now. 29 touchdown passes. He leads the league.
It's more than that now. It's got to be more than that now. He came into this game with 28, I thought.
No, I updated it today.
So did he have 26 coming into this game? Is that because he had 3, right?
Yeah, he had 26 coming into this game, and he has 29 now.
Yeah, Tom Brady's balling out, and I don't see him slowing down anytime soon, man. Just the pocket presence, the pocket awareness, man. They're very the New England Patriots jacked that up. I don't know why they moved on from Tom Brady. They jacked that up.
It wasn't working for him there.
Could you imagine if they would have just drafted Mac Jones but kept Tom Brady? I know it was 2 years removed, because they did try to make the move with Cam Newton for 1 year. But imagine if a guy like Mac Jones had Tom Brady to just sit behind and just do a Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but they were falling apart in New England at the time.
Did they miss the playoffs, Tom Brady's last year? I don't think so. Right. If they did, I think they missed it with a good record.
Or they lost in the first round.
Yeah,
they were 9
I think they were just too used to winning. I think it was 10 wins. I could be wrong. But they messed that up. They botched that, bro. Tom Brady is out here looking like the best quarterback in the NFL. I know we like all these flashy dudes running around and doing all this stuff, right? But Tom Brady looks like the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. The dude is. There's no argument. You could easily say Tom Brady's the best quarterback in the NFL. I mean,
Easy.
you know, I'm a Matt Stafford guy. I like Patrick
Matt
Mahomes.
Stafford is not playing better football than Tom Brady right now.
Aaron Rodgers, you know, but Tom
Aaron
Brady
Rodgers
right
might
now
be.
is playing the best football probably of all of them. I mean, Stafford's got the yards, but he's had a couple of bad games the last couple of weeks. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron
he's not
Rodgers,
like,
the thing about Aaron Rodgers is he really only has one bad game on the whole year, and it was the first game. And since then, he's been playing lights out football.
yeah.
He doesn't have. Tom Brady's got some bad games against the Bucks. He does have a bad. I mean, against the Bucks, against the Washington football team, he's got a bad game, and against the Saints, he had a bad game.
And against New England, he didn't have a really good game either. Even though
I can't
they
remember
won.
that one that well.
It was in the rain.
Oh yeah,
Sunday
that
night,
was a
it was
slow
like this
game.
big
Yup,
event.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that was slow. But I mean, he's definitely balling out now, man. He just seems. Tom Brady seems more comfortable now. I heard Skip Bayless talking about this on his show this morning. He was like, man, some of you kids that get to see Tom Brady right now, you are so lucky because we got to see Tom Brady in like the mid-2000s. Y'all seeing Tom Brady playing football like he's a 25-year-old at 44. He could be somebody's grandfather out this joint. And he's balling, bro. I don't know why Giants Nation thought that we could go in here and actually win this game. I mean, everything seemed lopsided with the two losses coming to the Saints and the Washington football team before this.
I thought you guys could, and I
Man.
put the map out there for you. Unfortunately, Joe Judge dropped the map out the window on the way to Tampa Bay, left it on the airplane.
You got the map? What was
I got
the map?
Of course, I got the
What
map.
was the map?
All right, the map.
Of course I got the map.
I'm the map maker, man. Okay, you got to hold Tampa Bay to less than 28 points. Do you have the sound effect for me here?
Which sound effect do I need for you here?
You know, the wrong answer. Yeah, okay. This is the map right here. New York Giants had to hold Tampa Bay to less than 28 points. 30 points. You had to hold Tampa Bay to under 60 yards rushing. 94 yards rushing. You had to get sacks and turnovers. You got one sack, but it was on Blaine Gabbert.
Yep.
And you got one turnover, which you did turn into a touchdown. So I gave you an X/check on that one.
Mike Evans gave us that one. I'm gonna still give you I'll give you a.
Then you had to run the ball, and they only ran the ball 13 times for 66 yards.
It's been terrible, yo. It's been.
Yeah, so
you know what
did
this
not, the
sound
map
is from?
did not get followed.
You ever watch Whose Line Is It Anyway with Drew Carey?
Yeah.
That's what that is from right there. What about the targets, man? I got to pull up the targets to the wide receivers because what was really interesting to me about this game was Daniel Jones, he threw the ball 38 times, but the targets that went to our wide receivers were just ridiculous. I mean, Kadarius Toney, 12 targets. I know Giants fans like that for sure.
He had 7 catches, right?
And he had, 7 catches for 40 yards. Kenny Galladay had 2 targets. What we're paying that guy $70+ million to go out here and get 2 targets. Andrew Thomas had a target. Like, oh my God, New York.
But where did the other targets go? Saquon had 6, or
Darius
Saquon
Slayton.
had like
Darius
8.
Slayton got 7 targets. He had 4 catches for 37 yards, and 2 of those were late in the game when we were already way out of reach. I won't say garbage time. I hate when people call them garbage time stats.
But the real thing here too, man, is 2 for 12 on 3rd and 4th downs.
That's awful.
That killed you guys. And the time of possession.
Oh my God!
35 minutes and 39 seconds for Tampa Bay. New York Giants, 24 minutes and 21 seconds. Did not follow the map. Did not follow the map.
We did not follow the map. 10
Why?
rushes to running backs. Listen to this. 10 rushes to running backs all night. You were down 7 points going into the half getting the ball. You could have ran the ball 8 times on the opening drive to just start the next half.
And
I don't understand it.
Wasn't the first run by Saquon Barkley of the night like an 8-yard run, 6-yard run, like out the gate, like
I can't remember,
middle?
but his numbers weren't bad. 6 carries for 25 yards. 6 carries though. What were they thinking?
Bruh, John Ross was your leading rusher 3 minutes before halftime with 1 carry for 16 yards.
The Giants are just like, we're in hell, bro. We're in hell right now.
Hey, it's okay though. Jason Garrett got fired.
Yeah. Jason Garrett did get fired today, man, and that has definitely been the topic going around on Twitter right now. A lot of people talking about that. I think it is reviving the Giants fan base, and a lot of people do think that like there's hope now. It could go one way or the other, man. It could get like a little better, or it could get really, really bad.
Yeah, but don't let it happen. Don't set yourself up for either emotion going into this
Beard.
week.
The emotions,
I know you don't, but I'm speaking
the emotions
to...
are removed, and I know. I think that this one put everybody over the edge. I think if you were still copping
Eagles
for
revenge game,
this is the Eagles' revenge game. If the Giants lose this game to the Eagles, the fan base is going to completely check out. Right now, you still got about 20%, some homers out there, some people that still got faith the Giants can still do things right now. But I even saw Cop Hizzle was done with the Giants when I was looking at his video. I was like, oh, he's done? 2 weeks ago, he was just like, y'all out here not rooting for the team. You got to root for wins. And when I saw his video the other day, he was clocked out, bro. So I don't know, bro. Like, I think that, like, now, for me, it was about 3 to 4 weeks ago. I was kind of like, yo, remove the emotions. You know, people were talking, like, playoff runs and things like that. I was like, man, I'm waiting until about week 14, week 13 before I start thinking about the playoffs.
I remember
I removed the emotions that point on. I'm not expecting much. So when I watched the game on Monday night, I didn't have much emotion. And when we're down by 7, I'm kind of like, man, this game is closer than it should be, and I don't like that. I didn't like that because I feel like it's just going to give false hope for this team. The Buccaneers left a bunch of points out there. They could have been 21 more points. Instead, they had to settle for 3 field goals. One of those got called back from a penalty where they scored the touchdown. They got the penalty call back, and then they had to settle for 3. That score could have been 45, 50 possibly. That could have been real bad. So for me now, my emotions were clocked out Monday night. It's going to be even worse when we go into Philly because, you know, I'm high on Jalen Hurts right now. I'm looking at Jalen Hurts like, are we going to – they just did that against the #1 rushing defense in the NFL, and they're going up against the Giants right now. Am I supposed to expect us to play better defense than the Saints did?
Well, you're going to – listen, at least now you know what's coming. Right?
As far as, like, game plan-wise?
I mean, yeah, you know what's coming. They're coming to run the –
They're going to run the ball.
Okay.
If they go back-to-back 200-plus in 3 straight games and the third one being against us, yo, I'm going to lose my mind. And
I'll tell you this right now. If the Philadelphia Eagles – wait, we got to find – is that game here in New York or in Philly?
Let's see here. The first matchup with the Eagles, man, that is so hard to read right there. Let me make this as large as I could possibly make it. It's a home game for the Giants. We're terrible at home.
If the Philadelphia Eagles go into MetLife, run the ball for 200 yards, and you guys lose by any other way than by a last-second miracle play, Joe Judge gets fired.
You think so? Ooh. Now, we talking about Twitter clips. Might have to holler at the editing department here on that one. We might have to keep that one in the bag.
Because, look, this game, I don't think people really, really, really realize this. Wait, you guys, this is the first game. There's no people have forgotten, and I guarantee you, starting tomorrow, that drum is going to get a little bit more Nick Cannon-y. As we get, it's going to be like a Noriega drum in the beginning of a Noriega song, okay? Super Thug, because that story is going to get brought up. The way that all went down.
Everything from last year. Nate Sudfeld. Yeah.
Then when they made a trade with a division rival
did we beat the Eagles with Jalen Hurts at quarterback?
Last year?
Yeah. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Oh, man. This matchup's going to be interesting because we did win the last matchup.
So I mean, there's a lot on the line here. Like, this is pride. And to me, it's like the thing that Joe Judge like is able to hang his hat on is his rah rah rah, like get everybody, like we're gonna be tough and this and that.
Yeah.
And if you can't hold up to beat the Eagles in a game that's a revenge game, major revenge game in your home stadium, and if they do it in an embarrassing fashion, and you just fired Jason Garrett.
You think that they'll go
and
back
Gettleman's
to back
probably
weeks
trying to
and
save
fire
his job.
coaches? You think
What's that?
You think they'll go back to back weeks firing coaches?
Bro, what did you just say about the fan base? What happens if they lose this game
out.
to the Eagles?
They're clocking out.
You saw how angry the owner was. What was that? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, when he was kicking trash cans over.
How angry do you think he's going to be if they lose to the Eagles at home, knowing what it means to the fan base?
I'm not prepared for that, Beard.
There's no way Joe Judge
here's the biggest
job.
problem is if you fire Joe Judge after that game, who the hell is going to be the head coach?
Freddie Kitchens.
Come on.
I mean, look, listen, because we still haven't found out who actually pulled the trigger on the firing of Jason Garrett. Whether it was ownership.
Joe Judge said it was him today in the press conference.
Joe Judge said it was him.
He said it was him. He said
Joe Judge fired him.
Yes, Joe Judge said, I'm the head coach. I say who goes on this coaching staff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone. Lose to the Eagles at home in an embarrassing fashion, he's gone.
And I do feel you a little bit because with Ben McAdoo, remember he benched Eli, and that was his decision. He benched Eli, then we brought Eli back, and then they fired McAdoo in week 12. They fired McAdoo. Shout out to homie David one time in the building. He says, firing one man is not going to change the identity of the team. He said, you can't tell me JG had absolute reign of the offense, like unquestionable reign of everything. I agree with you on that. I mean, philosophy comes from Joe Judge. Joe Judge did say some things today, though, that he thanked Jason Garrett because he said coming in as a young head coach, he thanked him for his experience pretty much that he lended towards him. And helping him out, kind of guiding him a little bit through some things like that. And Jason Garrett wasn't salty. Jason Garrett put out a statement today, and he thanked Giants Nation and all that. He didn't seem salty in the statement that he put out today at all. And Logic's Finest, shout out Logic's Finest, man. We always chopping it up. Said the head coach has final say on everything, including the offense. The mindset starts with the head coach for offense and defense, and that's facts too.
Shout out to the Independent Outsider for the $2 super chat. Says, does Kitchens have the scheme chops for the New York Giants? No.
I don't think so.
Well, listen, actually, you know what? Let me backtrack on that a little bit. Maybe he does. Might not be the scheme chops that y'all, the Giants fan base, keep looking for. This Eric Bieniemy, what's my man? The Rams. I already forgot his name. Sean McVay. Scott McVay. It might not be like those type of guys, man, but he might be like, all right, we're running the ball 40 times.
He might, but you remember when he came in relief that one time with Colt McCoy quarterback, they stretched the field. He did throw the ball down the field more, and he did find ways to protect the quarterback to get him to be able to throw the ball down the field. I don't know. It's going to be fun to see it with a new coordinator. I'll keep that funky for sure. Like, it's going to be fun to see a different style maybe. I don't know if it'll be a different philosophy, but, like, how they utilize Saquon Barkley in the offense. You do got – your weapons are here. The Giants are healthy. He could maybe do something. I don't know. But to me, it's these last 7 games here that the Giants have, unless you like convincingly blowing teams out of the water, I'm in agreement with David. I don't think one man is going to change really what happens on the offensive side of the ball anyway. I don't know. I just don't think that. Edward Squire says they aren't is what he corrected it as. They aren't firing Joe Judge. Mara already expressed his trust in Judge. I don't know, man. You never know with these football teams, though, man. They say one thing and do another, and we know that with Dave Gettleman for sure.
And look, they fired Gettleman. Might be like, man, if I can get rid of Judge fast enough, maybe this doesn't linger on to the end of the season, and I can be like, hey, I got a whole new plan for this team, for, the roster, the coaching staff. Try and save himself,
Yeah,
throw
he could
everybody else under
revive
the
his
bus.
career too. He could definitely revive his career. Wanted to pull this one up from the Cardinal Rule too. He said Freddie Kitchens did well enough as an interim for Cleveland that they gave him the head coaching job, but then he blew it. Yeah, he definitely did blow it. That's true. And I was talking with Kid Blue in his chat about this. He was like, I don't want to become the Browns, and just keep firing coaches. And I said, Kid Blue, man, we already are the Browns. We've been bad for a long time here. And I think you got to just keep firing coaches until you get it right. The Browns seem to have gotten it right here in Kevin Stefanski, and he asked me how long would it be before you got to fire these new coaches? And I joked around. I said every 3 months. But in reality, I mean, I think 3 years is a good enough time for you to find out the identity of a team from, the philosophy of a head coach. And I think right
Yeah,
now with Joe Judge, it don't look good. He looks
it
confused.
don't. It
He
don't.
looks like the quarterback a little bit. Maybe some of the confusion with Daniel Jones is coming from the head coach. I don't know. But Daniel Jones looks lost out there. Like he looks so unsure of himself. Like when you look at the interception that he threw on the screenplay, he's like pump faking and he's just like, I don't know. Should I just take the sack or screw it? Interception.
That's why the Carr, Ramsey, Jones scenario is kind of scary, because I didn't really even think about it like from that aspect. But
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to. I hope that he's not broken.
I mean,
And-
was he ever working? Was it ever like functioning?
but I mean, what was anything ever functioning since he's been there?
No. And that's why I'm like, now 3 years in, I'm convinced you got to get a new quarterback. I know they're not going to do it next season. Saquon Barkley had a incredible rookie campaign in 2018 with Eli Manning at quarterback, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 4,200 yards. That was under Pat Shurmur. Daniel Jones comes in week 2 of the 2019 season. He put up like the same numbers as a old washed Eli Manning, except he turned the ball over a billion more times.
But
he is one of the common factors of this team, and I hate to say this too because this my dude. I've gotten down with this dude for a long time. You kind of got to let Sterling Shepard go.
yeah, I mean, he's hit that.
And he
That
had a
time.
great start to the season, a great start to the season. But the thing about Shepard is, ultimately he's going to get hurt every year. You know it. He's going to get hurt.
Yeah,
And Kadarius Toney could fill that role, I feel like. And I love Sterling Shepard. I was going to buy a jersey this year, and that was going to be the jersey I was going to buy. But it's hard to invest any money into this team. Like, that's why I haven't bought a Daniel Jones jersey, because one, I was trying to convince myself I think he's the guy. I think he might be the guy. But I don't know if you remember this, but this was during the eBay era. When we drafted Eli Manning, the first year, he lost like 6 or 7 straight games when he came in for relief for Kurt Warner. The next year, as soon as I saw Eli Manning get hot, I bought the jersey. I could just feel that he was a good quarterback. You saw it with your eyes. With Daniel Jones, man, it's like right when you get one game where you think oh, man, he looks like he could be a good quarterback, come back next week, fall flat. No consistency. Absolutely no consistency in this dude's play the whole time he has been a New York Giant.
But has there been any consistency in the organization, in the coaching staff, in the players around him? I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm just saying, like,
no, it's a good question you proposed there. Not necessarily, but I will tell you this, man. In 2020, he had a defense behind him that if he could just do anything, we would have been a good team. Some quarterbacks, you got to figure out that you could do at least a little something with no talent out there.
Mhm.
We were talking about this with Kid Blue too, like, and not to say that Matthew Stafford had no talent in Detroit, because we know he had Megatron over there. He had Golden Tate when Golden Tate was balling out. They tried things with Reggie Bush. But overall, the talent that they were putting around Matthew Stafford was not good enough, right? But go look at his record. In Detroit, he was just under having a 500 record in Detroit. Daniel Jones he don't got that winner like a Matthew Stafford. What I liked about Matthew Stafford is he wasn't scared to go lose a game and throw an interception late. He was gunslinging. And he came back in a lot of games back in the day. The Giants, I don't know if it's the pressure that's around Daniel Jones that's making him fold a little bit. You know, when you put them bright lights on people and you put them under that pressure, it's only few and a few certain players that could really dig themselves and make them, make the plays that are necessary when they don't have the talent around him. It just goes back to what I was saying just a couple episodes ago, where I was just like, if you got to have everything perfect around you at the quarterback position, then you aren't near perfect at all.
Mm-hmm.
You're average. Ryan Tannehill's out here, wide receivers going down. Tennessee was still in first place. Loses his running back. Tennessee's still out here doing things. They're winning unexpected games. I think they lost this past week, though. He's to Houston, which is terrible. The Bills lost to the Jaguars, so can we give him a pass for one week, I guess? Just to support this theory right here. But, I don't think Tannehill's a great quarterback. He's average. And this is what I've been asking everybody, and I got to ask you this and get your take on this. Rank these 3 quarterbacks for me.
Yes, I like
on
this.
A 1 to 10 scale. You can have decimals. You give us a 7.3, whatever you want, right? Rank these 3 quarterbacks. I'm going to start with 1 so we can set the bar real quick. Or do you want all 3 to then think about all 3?
No, you can give me one at a time.
Taylor Heineke.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to wait to say them. I like this. This is good. Yeah. This is good. Daniel Jones.
Okay.
Jared Goff.
Okay. So I'm rating them from a 1 to 10 scale, correct?
1 to 10 scale, and you can use decimals. 10 being the highest, 10 being Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, whatever.
This season alone?
Nope. Total careers. You got to adjust some numbers over there?
No, I just wrote down their initials.
Awesome. I like that. And chat, y'all please do the same. I see David and E. Suds out there dropping their numbers too. So it was Taylor Heineke, Daniel Jones, and Jared Goff.
Okay, I got it.
You got it.
Yep.
Should we start backwards, or you want to just drop them all in one go?
Taylor Heineke, 6.3.
Cool. I like that. That's higher than what I had him at. I like that. All right.
Daniel Jones, 6.4. Jared Goff, 6.5.
Oh my God. Yo, okay, so looking by the 2 people who gave us some submissions in the chat right here. David says 6.8 for Taylor Heineke, 6.3 for Daniel Jones, 4.8 for Jared Goff. E. Suds, shout out to E. Suds one time in the building. He says 6.8 for Taylor Heineke, 6.3 for Daniel Jones, 4.8 for Jared Goff.
No love for Jared Goff.
They got no love for Jared Goff.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked this season or overall, because I think Jared Goff just he hit a peak, and it just was a tough tumble down. Because there was times where I remember watching Jared Goff play and being like, just how rough it was for him his first year with Jeff Fisher, and to see him tough. Like bounce back showed me a lot. And I've seen him make great throws. Like, he had the athletic ability, but it just kind of started to tumble downhill.
Ooh, shout out to Roman one time in the chat too, man. Y'all know what it is. Giants Nation is in the building, and he's got Daniel Jones as his profile picture here, and he goes 6.9 Taylor Heineke, 5.8 Daniel Jones, 7.1 Jared Goff. Now, the reason why I've been bringing up this whole rating system this whole week, pretty much, like the last couple of days at least, is because since Daniel Jones was drafted, he has the most turnovers of any quarterback in the entire league at 48. Jared Goff was right behind him during that tenure at 47. And when you look at Jared Goff's numbers, some of his numbers look a little bit better than Daniel Jones. And I see the homie Stan Albert told me that he hit me up on Twitter, and he says the person, let's just pull up the whole comment here just so I can read it verbatim. He says, also, Awthentik, I sent you who DJ's career compares to so far stats-wise on Twitter. It's not even Jared Goff. It's freaking Blake Bortles. So let me go to my Twitter real quick, my DM. Pull that up from the homie one time. Ouch. Oh, you sent me a couple things in my DM. Man, hey, Big Blue Stan, that's the homie one time. He's always hipping me to a bunch of nuggets and a bunch of different statistics about quarterbacks. I love that. So let me see. You sent me a lot of information here. I just want to look.
Shout out Kid Blue in the building. What up, Kid Blue?
Oh, wow. Shout out Kid Blue in the building, man. Dope stream earlier, Kid Blue. I talked to Kid Blue. I got to get him on a Giant Overreaction coming up. We're going to have Big Pat next Monday on the Giant Overreaction. Y'all make sure to stay tuned for that. So look at this. Wow. At Giants366 tweeted this out. Says, been searching all morning for a comparison to Daniel Jones statistically, and this is about the closest thing you can find. Through almost 3 seasons, Daniel Jones' best comparison from a statistical standpoint is Blake Bortles. That really isn't ideal at all. So, and this compares from the top numbers on it were Blake Bortles from 2014 to 2019 and Daniel Jones from 2019 to 2021. So the yards per game, Blake Bortles averages more yards per game. 226.3 yards per game for Blake Bortles, 223 yards per game for Daniel Jones. Touchdowns per game, Blake Bortles 1.3, Daniel Jones 1.2. Interceptions, both hanging out right around 1 interception a game. Blake Bortles 1.0 and Daniel Jones 0.8. Sacks, Blake Bortles 2.5 a game, Daniel Jones 2.8. And I guess this is, I don't know what this yards is right here, but it's 14.8 for Blake Bortles and 19.9 for Daniel Jones. Completions per game, 20.9 for Daniel Jones. Completions per game for Blake Bortles, 20.0. Attempts, 33.8 for Blake Bortles and 33.3 for Daniel Jones. Wow, that's kind of sad, man. Blake Bortles.
Hey, okay. Now let's think about Blake Bortles in a nutshell, though. I mean, he came into the league. He was supposed to be the guy. I personally was never a Blake Bortles guy because at that point in time, he was playing in that offense that was, produced a lot of people, that were putting up these crazy numbers. There's another one, Blake Bortles and what's my man's name? Blaine Gabbert. Now, Blake Bortles is still in the league. He's in and out.
He just played last night, right?
Played last night, right?
Looked terrible.
So... But don't forget, Blake Bortles also, albeit with a great defense, was a couple plays away from, going to the Super Bowl.
Was he?
Yeah. Jaguars.
Man, I don't remember how you act like I follow Blake Bortles' career.
The Jaguars were in the AFC Championship like 3 years ago, man.
With Blake Bortles at quarterback.
Yeah,
see, this is why you the strong side to my left side, brother.
Listen, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that might have been like 5 years ago. I think it was like 5 years ago, actually. Yeah, they were like 1 play away from the Super Bowl with Blake Bortles.
This is a good question, too, and because I want to continue the rating conversation, because, how you be wanting to talk about something and don't nobody want to talk about it? That's how I was feeling about the whole comparison with Jared Goff, Taylor Heineke, and Daniel Jones. Can y'all rate them? I was asking Tanner and Bad Dog, can you just rate them? He was like, I'm going to come on your channel and talk about quarterbacks, man. I was like, please, man, just rate them. Nobody wants to talk about Jared Goff and Daniel Jones. And E. Sud says, who would you like right now, Awthentik? Goff or Jones? God damn, you put me on the spot. So look, shout out to Kid Blues in the building because he was the one content creator who I started talking to about this on his stream, and he actually answered it. And he said, Jared Goff is better than Daniel Jones. And I told him, I'm not going to tweet it out tonight because I like to tweet when it's hot, morning time, people just waking up trying to look for drama. I'm going to tweet it out tomorrow because I agree with him. I do think that Jared Goff is better than Daniel Jones. I don't know if it's circumstantial at the same time because, Jared Goff, we really didn't see him behind, a poor offensive line like we see with the New York Giants. But, he did put up some numbers. I think that Jared Goff might be the better quarterback. Who would I rather have right now? I'd probably rather have Daniel Jones just because he's only in his 3rd year.
Yeah. Listen, if you were asking me Jared Goff 4 years ago, I would have said Jared Goff 4 years ago. But I don't want anything to do with this Jared Goff.
Mm-mm.
Listen, as bad as you think it is for Daniel Jones, there's no, and I don't care if you could say, oh, he plays for the Lions stink. There's no way you can convince me at this point in time, going into week 12 of the 2021 NFL season, that Jared Goff is better than Daniel Jones right now. He's just not. He is a. Let me tell you this.
I don't know about that.
Jared Goff might
I think
never
he's a better quarterback right now. I just think the age and he's already been wrung out is why I wouldn't want him on the Giants.
Jared Goff might not start another football game for the rest of his life. Let's put it that way.
No, that's not true. The only reason why he didn't start this past week because he was hurt.
Yeah, but that just listen.
You want to compare to now? Let me ask you this: do you think Jared Goff is in a better situation with the Lions right now than Daniel Jones is with the Giants, including injuries and everything you can compile to put into that argument?
No, not in a personal. No, absolutely not. He's in a way worse situation.
Jared Goff is in a worse situation.
Yeah,
his numbers look pretty decent to be in that situation. 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 2,100 yards, 66.1 completion percentage.
How many times has he been sacked?
Let me get that. I got the Pro Football
Shout out
Reference
to Bluegrass
right
Picker for the $5 super chat. Says, love you, fam. Thanks for being live. Appreciate you, brother.
Let's see here. Appreciate you, Anthony, man. We always appreciate you pulling up all the support you get this channel, bro. He's fumbled it, so
big shout out to LA Lou for the $5
LA Lou in the
super
building,
chat.
man. Shout out LA Lou.
I have an easy answer. Goff can take a team to the playoffs and even a Super Bowl, but he needs a team around him. He can't carry a team.
Yeah, and LA Lou is a Rams fan. Now, Lou, I got to ask you this. Jared Goff right now, rank these. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. Rank Jared Goff on a 1 to 10 system for me, and then rank Daniel Jones on a 1 to 10 system for me. And also answer the question that's running around in the chat right now. Who would you rather take on your team as the starting quarterback right now, Jared Goff or Daniel Jones? And I want to get these. You said the sack numbers for Goff. Yeah, he's been sacked a lot. So I hate how they don't add him up for you during the current season. 26 sacks on the year.
Probably got like 10 fumbles too.
And he's got fumbles. He's got, let's see, 7 fumbles on the year.
Yeah.
And lost, he's got four fumbles lost. Which Daniel Jones is like not, I think he's got 7 on the year. I forget how many he's got lost. It's a very interesting conversation because, most Giants fans are going to automatically be like, yo, Daniel Jones is a much better quarterback than Jared Goff. But I like how we brought up the circumstantial, like he is in Detroit, yo. I want to say the number 1 receiver over there is Khalif Raymond.
And I mean, by default, they drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown, who I really like out of USC, and he's had some flashes. They got T.J. Hawkinson. They have DeAndre Swift, who is, has the most receptions of any running back in the National Football League this year. I mean, that offensive line, they drafted Penei Sewell.
And that's another thing that I don't like about Daniel Jones is that he don't take those easy checkdowns to the running back. And for Swift to be out here being the leading, receiving running back, you got to get a quarterback that's going to check down to you. I don't watch enough Lions games, though, to really assess Jared Goff this season, but he does seem to be like he's always on the run trying to get rid of the ball.
That offensive line is bad.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, though, is that, like, I remember seeing Jared Goff be able to make plays. But now he's kind of just like.
Facts, Kid Blue. Former Giants, Khalif Raymond. We cut him. He couldn't make our roster at all. And he did make a couple plays. He was decent in the special teams area, too.
I mean, they're bad. The Lions are bad, and I don't know why.
No wide receivers in a bad offensive line. Defense ain't great. They got nothing over there. And they, that it reminds me of New York, like how they didn't address certain things that is an issue. They let their two 1A, 1B wide receivers go and did not really address it. Didn't really make no free agent moves. Their offensive line is garbage. The Giants, we've been in that same boat.
That's like how it was.
They call a screenplay just about every play to
Look, they call a screenplay, and they're not even calling it a screenplay. They just make it look like a screenplay because their offensive line is getting beat so bad. It looks like they're just letting them through like they're supposed to on a screenplay.
Yeah, because it looks the same. It looks exactly the same.
FYI, Notre Dame came in Number 6 in the college football rankings, playoff rankings. So we are on the outside looking in. Only the top 4 make it in.
It's too bad. It's too bad.
It's okay. We got a couple more chances.
Yep.
Michigan loses. Cincinnati loses. We're in the mix, baby. Okuda out for the year. Yeah. Ooh, damn, that's tough.
First name, last name. This looked like a new person up here one time in the chat, man. Appreciate you pulling up in the building, man. I'm so sick and tired of losing myself, bro. I'm becoming like numb to it. I'm just like, it's like in the off season is the only time I'm looking forward to football, and then when football comes, I'm kind of like, damn, this is what I've been waiting for all year. Damn, this is bad. This is bad, man.
It's like waiting like 30 minutes for your food, and then you get the food. You take the first bite, you're like, waiter.
You know what it's like? And this always happens. When you got like some leftover spaghetti, right? And you throw that thing in the microwave, you go for like good 1 minute, 15 seconds. You like, yeah, this joint about to come out banging. And then you go bite into that first bite, and the center of the whole spaghetti just cold. God damn it, I got to go back upstairs and put this bag in the microwave for 40 seconds.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Exactly.
Man, this one of them streams where I'm like, I'm just floored, man. I'm just numb to this now. It's just like, it's so hard to cover this team, man. Especially with any kind of a confidence. First 6 weeks, man, we getting all of this right here. Giants Nation in the building. And then it just like, we out of here. It's bad. It's bad. Y'all got some hope. I might hop on that Washington football team bandwagon.
It's all going to come down to how you guys show up as a team, as an organization, and as a fan base.
Against the Eagles?
The Philadelphia Eagles, who took so much from you that last week of the season and in the draft, and now look better than you, have you sitting in the basement. What are you going to do as a New York Giant football fan? What are you going to do as a New York football Giant player? What are you going to do as a New York football Giant coach?
As a
this
fan,
will determine.
I'm clocked out, bro. I've been clocked out for a couple weeks. I'm clocked out. I'm telling you, I'll be like, when we're doing things and they're letting us hang around, I'm telling you, I feel a certain way. I'm like, don't want to cheer because I'm like, I know how this story is going to end. It's going to end in a Giants loss. I know it.
I've been where you've been, man. I've been where you've been.
I've been where you've been.
But listen, man.
I like that. Shout out to first name, last name, new subscriber to the channel, man. We appreciate you pulling up, man. Nobody here is fans. Everybody is fan, man. We definitely appreciate you hitting that sub button and the notification button one time for us, man. We definitely appreciate that. Giants Nation is in the building, my G.
Big shout out to the homie L.A. Lou for the $10 super chat. So that I'd rather have Goff. He's a 7, Jones is 6'5". Goff plays under control more. He doesn't play at an accelerated pace. Jones will make the mistakes because he doesn't react before thinking.
I'm gonna screenshot this real quick. Hey, make a good face for the camera because I'm screenshotting this. Might go on Twitter. Hey, shout out L.A. Lou, man. Me and L.A. Lou always chop it up on Tanner's chats, man, and all that, man. Rams fan, so just know you're getting a perspective from somebody who watched Jared Goff for a really long time. I want to scroll back here and Roman said he needs this stream to last forever. I kind of feel like that too. Like we in a group there. It's like an AA meeting for all alcoholics. You know what I'm saying? And we all just in a circle, just talking about all our problems right now. But I want to go back and scroll up to some of the rankings that we were doing for those of y'all that missed it. We were talking about Taylor Heineke and Daniel Jones and Jared Goff. We were ranking them from a 1 to 10 ranking, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. And I saw a couple that I had missed earlier, so I kind of want to scroll up and just see if I can pull any more of these. Oh, yeah, it was 40 Luck. 40 Luck said 6.5 for Taylor Heineke. The first numbers were Taylor Heineke. The second number was Daniel Jones, 6.6. And then we had Jared Goff at 6.3. So he's got everybody in that pretty much that average ballpark right now. And then Cookie Monster, shout out to the homie Cookie Monster. Giants Nation is in the building. 6 for Heineke, 5 for Goof. He said Goof. I like that. And a 3 for Jones. This is a harsh system we're rating on here. This is harsh right here. 3. Jones is a 3 out of 10. If you saw it at Regal Cinemas, you give him 3.
A 3 is like Tim Boyle.
But damn, Logic said a 3 too. Said he reminds me of Dave Brown. I don't even know who Jeff Rutledge is.
Shout out L.A. Lou for the $2 super chat. He said he meant to say he reacts before thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understood. That. I got you. We on the same wavelength, Lou. And shout out to David who says if there's a man that can make a thumbnail, it's the beard.
Big facts. Big facts, man. Shout out to Beard one time. Y'all know what it is. Subscribe to Over the Years if you're not subscribed to Over the Years, man. The most vicious auctions on a Monday night you're going to see on YouTube. I love them auctions, man. They get me hyped. And, oh, yeah, I want you to break that news about you said you got some big auctions coming up for Black Friday, too.
Friday night, 7 o'clock on the Over the Years channel. We're going to be doing a live vintage auction/sale. It's going to be buy it now. It's dirt cheap. We're going to have bids. All the bids are going to start at $1. We're going to be doing giveaways, mystery boxes, all types of crazy stuff. So if you guys are looking to buy a Christmas gift for your significant other or your mom or your sister, something like that, it would definitely be the right place to do so. And hopefully you guys will come enjoy. It's a party always. We always have a good time, so appreciate that. Yes, Bluegrass, shipping for days. It is. Anthony Bluegrass Picker understands. Right now, it's just insane. Literally, when we finish here, I have to go pack orders. Like, it's been crazy. I packed, what did I say I packed today? I packed 43 orders today.
Whew. Out here grinding, man. Yes, tis the season, right? Tis the season. Peace out to L.A. Lou, man. I know you said you got to roll out, man. Thank you for pulling up, brother. I haven't seen you in a while, man. It's good to see you in the chat, man. And Cardinal Rule says he's got a good point here. The contract matters a lot. You can build a winning team around Goff on a good contract, but not on his current deal because the current contract is garbaggio for sure.
Yeah, but I don't think he plays. I don't think he gets a starting job after this year.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be tough. Do you see Daniel Jones getting a starting job if he leaves the Giants during this tenure? Because I think next year Daniel Jones will probably come back and be the starter.
Depends on how he performs next year.
I was bringing up Marcus Mariota on KB's chat, and a lot of them was hating on that. But Marcus Mariota, I thought, looked a little better than Daniel Jones. Not much better. Where would you rate Marcus Mariota while he was playing? Because he hasn't had a starting job since he left Tennessee either.
6.9.
6.9? I think that's a little high for a guy like that. Because we got to leave room. For me,
I look at it like this. You're really like in the 6s. Okay, there's people that are like in the 8s and the 9s, and then there's very few people that are down like in like the 3s and stuff like that. Like Mark Sanchez, even Mark Sanchez, like where do you put Mark Sanchez? Because he went to the AFC title game 2 years in a row and then butt fumbled his way out of the football league.
Yeah. The end of his career was really bad, but I wouldn't put him in the 6s, I don't think. I think he'd be in like the 5.2 range or like the 4.9 kind of range.
But then somebody would argue he had a great defense when he made it to the AFC Championship 2 years in a row. But for me, Marcus Mariota has that ability to extend a play. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta love it. I'd put him. See, I don't rate Daniel Jones or Jared Goff as high. I think they're both teetering around like 6, maybe like a 5 point something for real. Especially with the way Daniel Jones has played as of late. We've seen flashes and he's done some things. Marcus Mariota is just a tier above them, maybe at like a 6.2 or something like that for me. And it's hard to even put Taylor Heineke with such a small sample size even over a guy like Daniel Jones. So I don't know yet. I want to see what Taylor Heineke can do for the rest of the year.
That's why I had him lower than all of them at 6'3".
But you know what I liked about Taylor Heineke? He came right into the league, or he came right into Washington, first game, big time. That fly over there still messing with you, huh?
It is driving me crazy all stream.
Yo, this is the thing. You got to catch him. You got to.
I've been trying. I don't know if you've seen me every once in a while.
I ain't talking about live, man. You ain't got Daniel Jones today. He had 225 yards, and you can't be out here doing your best Mr. Miyagi impersonation while you on air. But as far as Marcus Mariota, you remember when PJ used to catch flies with the rubber bands? One of our homies, okay, this is gonna sound like we lying. I'm gonna keep it real. He's Asian. I don't want to stereotype him, okay, but he's Asian. He consistently could kill flies with rubber bands. Like, he'd be like, oh, it's right there. You just see the fly fall on the ground. Like, I seen him do it with my own 2 eyes like 10 to 15 times at least, man. You got just call PJ. I'll be like, hey, bro, I got a stack of rubber bands. Pull up.
It's the big light, man. The big light got it. Just
I told you that the fly landed on the hat last episode. It took everything in my power not to start laughing.
It landed on my mustache in this episode.
The fly, like, man, get the back of these boxes, bro. Hey, dog, that is hilarious, man. But what I was gonna say is Marcus Mariota, maybe like around a 6.1, maybe. He hasn't played football in so long; it's hard to really gauge him. But when he gets in the game, he does all right for sure.
He's gonna be a free agent this offseason.
Yeah, and I was saying to Kid Blue and them,
Hey,
maybe
so
you make
Derek
a move
Carr.
as the Giants, to go get a guy like that. And if you think the Raiders aren't going to re-sign Derek Carr?
I don't know, because I don't know what their situation is going to be like in general. Are they going to, Mike Mayock is kind of like a up and down GM work over there. Dude, look at how bad that. I mean, it's unfortunate circumstances, obviously, but look at their draft from 2 years ago. They don't have a single player, I believe, from that draft.
Talking about the Raiders.
At this point, I don't think a single person and player from that draft is a starting player on their team. Henry Ruggs,
okay, not a starter, but they got some of them on the team still.
Two of them, I think. Henry Ruggs is obviously been released. The next pick was in their second round was the cornerback Damon Arnett, who got let go after he was on Instagram.
They released him. They released him for that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
He had some other issues too. Apparently, like, he crashed like 9 rental cars in his first year or something like that.
I'd want to dig into like what really happened with that, because it looked like he was just trying to defend himself on Instagram, which is still stupid as hell for you to get on there with a bazooka talking about pull up. Very stupid. But I didn't know that they were going to release him. Dang, that's crazy.
And then I think their third round pick got cut, and then their 4th round pick, I believe, was a starter and then got benched, and same thing with their 5th or 6th round pick. So like, their draft class from 2 years ago is just so bad, and
that's
it's
horrible.
And you have a draft class like that, and you're not the Rams, who don't necessarily rely on the draft like that. That sets them back. Yeah, Nathan Peterman, we'll put him into 2.1s.
I'm putting him a little lower than that. I'm putting him at like a 1.4. Straight up. That dude was terrible. That debut he had in Buffalo was so bad.
What about
his
Rex
first
Grossman?
3 throws was 3 interceptions. Rex Grossman, like a 3.
Tim Tebow.
4.1.
I got a throwback one for you. Do you remember a quarterback by the name of Sean King?
Hell yeah, I remember Sean King. Had a little stint with the Bucks. Sean King was like
he was good.
He was all right. I give him like a 5.3.
Tony Romo.
He definitely had a lot of weapons and a great offensive line. I can remember one year with Tony Romo, bro. He would just sit in that pocket just like it was like there was a wall between him and the defensive line. Tony Romo's like a 7. Look at that.
I gotta get this figured out before.
Call PJ. Look at him looking around. Like, you know how you just looked? You look like when somebody see a dog and they like, oh, like, don't bring your dog over here, cuz.
I think I might have just injured him.
Gave him a quick little whack. But who were you saying before that?
It was Tim Tebow, then it was Tony Romo.
Oh yeah, Tony Romo. I'm gonna go like a 7.3.
Tyrod Taylor.
6.5. 6.4. 6.4. Tony Romo should be a lot higher than Tyrod Taylor.
Tua Tagovailoa.
At the moment, he a 5. He a 5.
I mean, he's played pretty well the last few games.
Yeah, he's still a 5.
3 in a row.
Yeah, he a 5. JP
so
Losman.
who? Okay, here we JP Losman.
I'm looking around my studio for flies now. I saw something floating, a little piece of lint in the air. I said, "Oh shit!"
Okay, who would you rather have right now, Tua Tagovailoa or Daniel Jones?
Oh my God! Don't do me like that. Tua. Yo,
That's a good one. Tua turn the ball over.
Tua turn the ball over. I ain't never heard that. Hey, shout out to Roman. Y'all killing me right now. You know y'all killing me right now, right? Tua or Daniel Jones? Tua or Daniel Jones? I'm going to go Tua turn the ball over. That's so funny to me right there, dog.
Oh, that's great.
I'm going to go Tua. Cookie Monster said Tua. Geno Smith or Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones, man.
All
Geno Smith maybe 4 years ago.
Oh, my cat just woke up. Hey, man, stop scratching the couch, bro. Maybe how many years ago?
4 years ago.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm definitely.
But I
with you
saw
on that.
Geno Smith come in for Russell Wilson, and it just did not work.
Yeah.
When he first came in off the bench off that first game and he led that drive and you thought they was going to win, I was like, hey, Geno.
Yeah, maybe he
Then
all right. Maybe he been studying.
The next game he came in, I was like, oh.
Nah, dog. Nah, bro. Not it. Yeah, I think I take Daniel Jones over Geno Smith at the moment. I think I take Daniel Jones over Geno Smith even when Geno was younger.
Cookie Monster said Tua is the Payless version of Drew Brees.
It's terrible, dog. Hey, everybody has owned a pair of shoes from Payless. I don't care what you said. My Dukes bought you a good pair of $10 dress shoes. Like, here, put this on for Easter. For sure. So Payless, hey, good value. Good value for the money, for sure.
Yeah, you ever been on the road and forgot your dress shoes and you're about to go to the wedding and you're like, I need some dress shoes. You got to stop by. You're not about ready to go pick up no $50 dress shoes. You stop by Payless.
50, 100. You're going to get you. Payless Jones probably like 25 now. Payless went out of business, though, didn't they?
Which is mind-boggling to me, but yeah, I don't think so. I haven't seen a Payless in. There used to be one inside of Wheaton Plaza.
Cat, yo. That dude. He just wakes up like, I need to go get some food.
Hey, Brian Greasy wasn't that bad, Cookie Monster. He had some good.
He's all right. Okay, what about where do you rank Kyle Orton?
Kyle Orton is one of these Sixers, man. He's a Sixer. We'll put him at. Kyle Orton's probably like a 6, 5'9", 5'9".
5.4 bracket. Perry Mack in the building one time.
Here's
the thing,
couch, yeah.
This is good. And let me tell you how I've cat-proofed my couch. I put like a bunch of like packaging tape, clear packaging tape on the edges. But down here in the studio, I don't usually let the cats down here because a lot of people be allergic to cats and whatnot. But he just been chilling with me during the day because I ain't had no sessions today, man. And he over there clawing up the couch, man. But my girl just let him up upstairs. He's probably about to go feast on some fancy feast one time. Switched up the food diet for him. He's been digging the fancy feast one time.
Who wouldn't? Everybody wants to be fancy once in a while.
That fancy feast got real shrimp in the package.
No.
Swear to life, dog. Full shrimps in that joint. And it ain't that much more expensive. Orton is a 4.9. Cookie Monster said, "Yeah, that's facts, man. Yo, this is one of those streams that you don't want to end, but it's gonna have to come to an end. That fly over there giving you big trouble.
I think I got it now. Finally,
for real.
Yeah. Look, so it landed like right now on my laptop, and I hit it with a like how you flick people in the elbow. Yeah,
like how
I hit it with one of those.
How you flick a paper football? You just
yeah.
Got it.
And I saw him kind of like get up and like. His flight path looked a little sketchy, so he might have
he started slowing down a little bit. That's when you know it's a wrap.
Up and down like this. So might took a wing or two.
His flight path looked a little sketchy. Hey, man, listen, we still got a bunch of folks in the building, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with Awthentik in the Beard today, man. This was a pretty fun one. Talked a lot about the quarterback situation. If you're wondering why we didn't go crazy on the Jason Garrett firing situation so much during this stream, we did a whole stream right before this one around 2 p.m. You could definitely check that one out. David said the Beard fighting for his life. That's funny, man. Yo, so wait, what did Roman say here? He says, Awthentik, you should make a stream tomorrow for the Giants. What's tomorrow? Wednesday. I got a pretty busy day tomorrow. We'll see what happens, man. We're trying to work out the schedule a little bit for the rest of these previews and whatnot. But that is a possibility, man. Who knows? I might just pull up and just on some chill vibes, you know what I'm saying, do another Giant stream. We'll see what it is, man. We'll definitely see if we can make that happen. Roman, I appreciate you pulling up in the building. Giants Nation is still in the building. Y'all know what it is, man. Let's see some biceps in that chat one time before we get up out of here. I know today was a busy day on YouTube, man. I appreciate y'all being here, man. Y'all presence is very important to Authentic in the Beard. Y'all know what it is, man. A lot of people was doing lives today. I'm going to actually stick around on YouTube probably for a couple more hours. I'm about to try to get a little dinner here, maybe get a little Apex Legend in, you know what I'm saying? Get a little gaming in for the rest of the night. Yo, I'm very boosted right now about this one client I got in here, man. I don't know if you're familiar with Tony Lewis Jr., the Beard, but big staple here in D.C., man. He's an advocate for gun violence in the city and a lot of people who are incarcerated as well, man. He released a book in 2017 that has been doing really well. He's been featured on Wallow and Gilly the Kid's podcast, $1 million worth of game. He's been featured on the Breakfast Club. Reached out to me to do his book, the audio version of his book, man. So I'm super blessed, man. I got a lot of things just falling, a lot of chips falling my way, man. Everything's just working out over here. I super blessed, man. I don't even know how this be happening. It's just, just good vibes.
Hard work, man.
It's hard work too, but we all doing what we love, man. And that's the beautiful thing about it. But I be waking up sometimes and I just be like, man, like, what did I do to land these blessings? Oh, he's back. He's back. He's back. You should have found him and hammered him to his death, because that's how flies do. They be like, oh, you thought I was dead. And then it's just like right in your face, flying a little slower. But, man, yo, we definitely appreciate all of y'all being in the building, man. I just wanted to talk about some of the blessings, because every subscriber we get on this channel is definitely a blessing. The Beard is pushing 3,000 over there on over the years. We just hit the 2,100 mark over here, man. Like, yo, I'm just super blessed to be able to talk football with all of y'all, man. This has been just major love here, man. So y'all know what it is here on Authentic in the Beard, man. Keep raising that bar, man. Keep living those dreams, man. We will catch y'all on the Thursday morning show 1,000%. Let me get this last super chat from the homie Matan Sebastian in here, man.
For the $1.99
Need more Twitter battles,
super chat.
Authentic. I got you, bro. I'll be on Twitter tonight if y'all want to, see me start some more Twitter battles. Maybe I'll bring up Kid Blue talking about Jared Goff is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. You know the Giants Nation gonna hate that one. Kid Blue, not Kid Blue, but Nate Talks Football was like, man, now you're just really trying to upset the nation right now with some of the tweets you've been saying. That was when I said we had the worst quarterback situation in the NFC East. But, man, real recognize real, bro. I just got to keep it 100. That's all I can do. That is all I can do. The moniker, the name, Authentic, we're not going to be pessimistic. We're not going to be optimistic. We're going to keep it authentic and be realistic here one time, man. And that's what we did here for 2.5 hours on Authentic in the Beard. Again, y'all, keep raising that bar, man. You got dreams, set them plans, man. Make those plans turn into your dreams and turn into goals that you got to reach, bro. Don't be out here being no joker, just bojangling all day. You know what I'm saying? Wasting your time, bro. Set them goals, set them high, man. So y'all know what it is, man. Live those dreams, man. We will see y'all possibly tomorrow, but we definitely going to see y'all Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We thank y'all again, Giants Nation, Washington Football Team, Eagles Nation, Cowboys, everybody out there in the NFC East, man. We got big love for y'all, man. Y'all be good. We'll see y'all soon.
Peace.